What they need to do, tag a friend and do what?
Tag a friend and bring him in.
Tag a friend and bring him on.
That's right. You don't want to miss this. It's coming. It's coming to you. It's coming to a theater near you.
Yeah. All I can tell you is right now it's going to be hot. We got our sister here, the Honorable Sister Shinobi.
Zenobia Thompson.
Yeah,
yes, Lord. RN. Put that RN behind her name. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it's official.
RN. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
And speak right into the mic. And you know this is Saturday morning. You know that.
I wrote it down.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, brothers and sisters, we're gonna have some fun tonight. We got a whole lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
Right now we can say tonight, but in a minute we'll be saying in the morning because we talk as though we're taping and it's Saturday morning, brothers and sisters.
And I got a surprise for Anthony Shahid that he did not expect. But I'm getting ready to lay something on him in a little minute.
I got some surprise. You ain't the only one got surprises.
All right then. Okay. It's all good.
Okay. Hey, you ain't the Lone Ranger.
Oh no. Absolutely. No man is an island. Yeah.
Praise
I got a whole lot of people riding with me.
Yeah, ain't no secret.
Yeah.
You start with me. Hey, I'm the main one gonna roll with you.
All right then.
Yeah. So Brother Boeski, you let us know when we're ready.
Haters open up the lane.
Yeah. Oh wait. Well, if they
open up
we gotta come on in.
Open up the lane. We coming through.
We got to come on in there.
We coming through. We got some information for you for the town.
Oh man, that's beautiful. That's all I want. That's what I want to hear.
Okay. Just give me the signal.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
That's what I'm talking about. Tag a friend and bring him in. Tag a friend and bring him in. That's the favorite saying of our dear sister Felicia Hampton, who she coined that phrase.
Yes, sir.
So, we have to give what they call attribution.
So give credit where credit is due.
You got to give credit where credit is due. So we want you to like it, share it, tag it, follow it, like it, share it, tag it, follow it.
Why you go so fast?
Like the people fast, man. They can keep up. The people fast. They're moving fast.
Okay. All
right, then like it, tag it, share it, following it. It's the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Good morning, St.Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600 AM. Joining me is my good man, my strong, he's a strong right hand. Brother Anthony Shahid.
Thank you, man.
Allah Akbar.
Allah Akbar. Oh, you showed that?
See that?
You got me. You 100% got me off guard.
Oh, God, yes.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Mary Bosleys in good mood this morning. It makes me feel good because I know I'm going to be able to come right off of whatever he's on.
Let's hit it.
And I'm thankful. So I should say, Assalamu alaikum, and with the name of Allah.
All right then, and we would be nowhere without the mover and the shaker and the guy who helps make everything happen, putting it all together. Bombay Boeski.
Good morning, brother Bombay.
Thank you to him back there. He's just smiling. He smiled when you call his name out because he know what he does.
Oh, he handling business.
He knows what he does. He back there putting it together, y'all. We got some good stuff coming up too. You all,
but I want to make sure give a shout out to Sister Secretary Felicia. She's on assignment.
Yes.
She made sure she took bases with us, so she's on special assignment, and also the senator, and also we honor these sisters because the black man is not going nowhere without the black woman. So we honor them. And
I think I talked to Karla May earlier today, and she said she was going to try to make it. Yeah, she said she was going to try to make it, but we got some good stuff coming up. Of course, it's getting cold. We're going to have to start going inside, and so this COVID is getting ready to double up on you.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting ready to double up on you, so we're going to talk about that a little bit.
Yes.
President Biden's infrastructure bill passed, and that is a big deal. It's a very big deal. And I also
how much is that for is that the one for $1.5 trillion? How much is that one for now?
It's about a 1.5. What is it? 2 trillion? What is it?
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, and it is, and we get a lot of money. State of Missouri gets a lot of money, which means that there are really a lot of business opportunities. It's a $1.2 trillion bill.
Well, I hope this time the mayor's on board. I really do. I hope she's on board this time.
Well, let's see. If the show must go on.
Yeah, show got to go on.
The show must go on, and we've got an update for you on the Homer G. Phillips issue. We keeping this one on Front Street. We
That's
keeping
gonna
it up
happen.
front, and we got Zenobia Thompson back again with new developments on the Homer G. Phillips Hospital. But before we get into that, I'm going to show you something, brother Boeski. You get ready. You need to be on this. You need to be on this, Boeski, with the quickness. All right, I got something in my pocket that I'm getting ready to pull out, and I'm getting ready to show. And I want Brother Anthony Shahid to see it and get up close, because here it is.
Oh, you ain't go there with me.
Hey, you see that? Hey, look,
Hey, man.
look. Get
Hey,
a close.
now.
Can you get a close up? Can you get a close up, Boeski?
Hey, man.
That. Hold
Check
on.
this out.
Wait a
So
minute.
now you
Wait. Well, hold on now. Watch it. This is a marble. Huh? Yes, it is.
So you went there.
No, yeah, I did. See, because you've been playing with me, man.
No, it's about to tell you what.
Yeah, you've been playing.
Just declared war.
You've been playing.
You know
Oh,
what you just
absolutely.
did? You just
No.
declared war.
See, I don't take challenges lightly. See, you've been fooling with me, and so I've been fooling
you
around.
seem like
I've
you got
been
a little
looking.
pee-wee in your hand.
I've been looking for this more. I've been looking for a marble ever since you brought it. I never said nothing to you about it, but I said, I'm gonna get him.
Okay,
I've been looking for a marble
okay.
ever since you brought it up. But see, this is here's notice. Wait a minute. Notice the way I hold it.
Yeah, I hear
See,
you.
it's like this.
Oh, that's fine.
That's you see, this is what real players play. See, this is what real players play. They shoot like this, but you got some people that do like that. Put it out on. Now they don't know what they're doing, but that's for amateurs. But the real shot, this is what you call the cockeye.
Do you believe he did
Hold it.
Do you believe?
Wait a minute. This is what you call the cockeye. See, that's a cockeye.
You ordered that something. That wasn't your.
Oh man, I've been waiting to bring this back. I had it on my step. See, I put it on the step.
I've been forgetting it every week.
I put it on the step. It's been
Every
on the
morning.
step for 2
Every
weeks,
morning.
and I've been walking past it. But
Oh,
today,
wait.
I made a point. I put it in my pocket this morning, so I wouldn't lose. I put it in my pocket this morning. Now, see, this is where you get into some real gamesmanship.
Oh, ain't no
This is
secret.
where players play. See, we used to play in Farragut School in the schoolyard. See, we fool around and mark off a square.
I would have never thought that he's gonna do that. But
I
it's
know
okay.
it. I know it. Yeah.
Hey, you know something?
You
Check
mark-
this out. I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do.
What
Since
we
you're
gonna
doing this on the air, we got to figure out how we gonna be somewhere right now.
We got to do now. We got to get a couple more marbles.
Okay,
See,
way more than-
you
way
can't.
more than a
I'm
couple
not. I'm not sharing this one with you. You got to get a couple more. You got to get a couple more marbles, and we're gonna play a game of two back.
Come on.
Two back.
You call it whatever you can.
You
Whatever
know
you
the
wanna
rules. You know the rules. Everything.
Do you know the rules?
goes-
Do you know the rules?
Everything goes in dead man.
You just declared
We,
war.
that's right. We playing a
just
game.
declared- you
We're
just
gonna play a
declared-
game of dead man, and I'm gonna look here. I'm gonna show
Hey
you.
man, you know
I'm gonna
something?
show
I ain't
you
gonna
something.
cut you no slack
That's
since he
right.
run this
Look
mouth
here.
like that.
I'm gonna show you
Me and my
something.
brother have never argued before.
I'm gonna
But
show
see
you
how he
something.
just did that. I
Say,
can't let him get that off.
you got all right then. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to come on with it. That's what I'm saying, man. Because you've been talking for the last 3-4 weeks about marbles.
Ain't no secret.
And I said I ain't said nothing. I just laid low.
And you hit yours on the
and I
step.
said I'm gonna find one
Hey,
of them.
hey,
I'm
Brother
see,
Bombay,
Boeski don't know. Yeah, Boeski, you ever seen one of these?
Oh yeah.
And Mr. Bosley was like,
Yeah, Boeski.
I was playing Marvel.
Have you ever seen one?
No, he ain't saying.
Okay, you seen
Ain't saying
them.
that.
Have you ever played with them before?
No.
Okay.
The little thing, it's like a little metal, the metal thing that come with one.
You talking about the bogey? Not the bogey. The bogey is steel
said
bogey. They got
metal,
steel
yeah.
bogeys. Yeah,
And
well,
you don't know nothing
that,
about
that,
no
that's
bogey.
inconsequential.
Yeah.
This
We talking
is
shooting
the real
marbles.
deal. See this here?
If you can shoot this,
That's right.
and
I'm
come
trying
on,
to tell you, if you can-
he,
see-
hey, he talking all this stuff. He ain't up here yet. I'm just sitting up here looking at it.
The guess is how marbles is even played, because I don't know.
It's very simple, and it kept us occupied all
did.
day long. We would be
did.
in class
Yeah.
waiting for recess,
That's all we
so
wait
we
for.
could get outside
Oh, yeah.
to play some marbles.
Oh, yeah.
all right.
That was the whole thing.
We couldn't wait. We could
Have
not
a bag
wait.
of them.
We could not wait. My pants, I would be on my knees, and my pants would be so raggedy from
yeah.
being on my
Oh, yeah.
knees.
Oh, yeah.
My mama started putting patches on my pants.
Yeah, they don't do
You
that
start
no more.
putting. They don't put it. My mama started putting patches
When
on
we
my
had
knees.
holes in our pants.
Yeah, because we had holes and our knees from being on the ground playing marbles. But that was it was a great game.
Yes.
It taught you a lot of skill, taught you a lot of competitiveness, and we're gonna try to.
He was down there a long time because he was always giving away his marbles because we was taking them.
And Boeski, but you asked how is it played? How is it played? It's very simple. You make a square. You draw a square in the dirt. And it's 3 or 4 people playing, and somebody say, "Well, how many? What we gonna play? What we gonna play? Well, you gonna play dead man." And then they gonna say, "Well, how many we gonna play?" When you can, it's called 2 back. Well, people don't even put one marble in the ring. 2 back, 3 back, 4 back. That's how many each person would have to put in the square. If we agree that we playing 3 back, everybody would have to put 3 marbles in the square. All right, and so then you start out by standing at a distance. Somebody draw a line, and then you try to shoot.
So knocking them out.
You try. Shahid.
He's gonna be easy to knock out.
Shahid doesn't know, but I could stand from the line and shoot and knock a marble out the square.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I know it does. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh, but yes, it's like that. But anyway, we're gonna show how it goes. But anyway, the one who gets the most marbles out the ring, out that square, you win the game. All right, and then you start it again until the people you keep beating them, and ain't nobody got no marbles left but you. And so then they tuck their tails and they go home, but they come back the next day. Now you really done pissed them off. They ready now. They all fired up for the next day.
Man, you don't have to put your tail all the way between your legs.
I'm not going to take up anymore. But I finally found it. We're going to get this marble game together.
No, don't try to hide it now.
No, I'm putting this going back in my pocket because you might try to get it. You might try to get it. I'm putting it back in my pocket. All right, then. Well, that was simple. I'm glad we had a little fun with that.
That was good this morning. That was good. That
let
make
us,
everybody else.
let me segue into one of the things about what we're getting ready to do is coming up, and that is, we got Thanksgiving coming up, and it's a great time for all of us for the most part. It's not as if it's something that in the African American community that you celebrate because of the country. It's something that we have come to celebrate because of family. That's what it means to us. Thanksgiving means a family, time to be with family. Now, we got a whole lot of other stuff that has happened in this country relative to Thanksgiving that has impact on that. But for the most part, the African American community isolates itself in terms of activities centered around family. All right. And people start coming home. Some folks that don't come home at all will come home for Thanksgiving and they'll come home for Christmas. I got friends coming in here now. I've got a guy in Portland, Oregon coming in. I got a guy in Atlanta coming in. Got somebody from California coming in. So they're coming for Thanksgiving, not in support of the country, but in support of their families. And people want to see them. Their mama want to see them. They want to come and spend time with them. Now, I tell you all of that because I'm getting ready to lay something on you that's kind of heavy. All right. Now, for those that you don't know, oh, God, 1 minute. Okay. For those of you that don't know, the country was founded by founding fathers and then people that they called, little pioneers and colonists. We had colonies, little bitty colonies of people throughout the country settling, and they called themselves settlers. But anyway, these settlers, one of the oldest cities that they settled in was a place called Wabanaki. It was inhabited by the Wabanaki Indians, but the region was called Dawnland. Dawnland. So we'll talk about that when we come back, but you need to hold that point and stick with me on that because I got something I really need to tell you. You need this. Yes, you do. You need this. I'm going to give it to you. All right. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600 AM. Keep it on lock. Quit. Play! Oh! All right.
Very powerful.
I'm going to dismiss those fables about Thanksgiving that been perpetrated for all these years.
Yeah, they kill people.
Yes.
That's what they whole history is about.
Hold on. I'm going to lay it on you. Yeah, they did.
So, brothers and sisters, we still talking while we are off the air, but we keep it real here. You know, the information you're going to get here, for the most part, you're not going to get it a lot of other places.
Are you aware of this Wilmington town in North Carolina in 1898 that the white supremacists took over from the elected African American?
No, I didn't know they took it over. No.
Oh, it was a coup.
We got we got information on that. I'd like to talk about that.
We talking about it now. We live.
I'd like to.
We definitely live.
So they took it over and did what with it?
They took it over, murdered black folks. They had to run like the folks from Roseville.
Yeah, Rosewood.
This was a coup. These were, this was, the Reconstruction period saw a lot of black elected officials.
Oh, absolutely.
In
Yes.
state
Hiram B. Revels. That's a bad boy there.
Right. And so,
Hiram B. Revels. He was a United States Senator.
a couple of days ago on C-SPAN, on one of the book reviews.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I knew about this, but this guy went into the details and how he had gone through.
On C-SPAN.
On C-SPAN. How he had gone through newspapers of the time. When this happened, they actually took power from the elected officials, and this ushered in the suppression of the black vote.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because
Yes.
they did, the black folks in this town, and it was Wilmington, North Carolina, were in the majority, and the white racist supremacists did not want that to be, and they took over. It was a coup.
Yes.
So
And they kill people?
Oh,
yes,
We
they
need to get
killed-
that. I need to. I want to explore that and develop that a little
fled
bit.
the town in fear of their lives, and they took over the town, and that really ushered in that suppression and Jim Crow laws of the South, so that black people would not be in power. And the federal government did nothing. McKinney was the president.
They was a
That's
part.
right.
They was a
And
part
some,
of it.
and some say it was because of the Spanish-American War at that time that there wasn't much attention.
Focus
given to it.
on this for me, brother. Bombay.
Yeah.
She's talking about the civil rights piece, the era, and I want to tie it. Right.
I really feel we're just really scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Oh,
of
absolutely.
stories and history, that has been hidden.
Right, it is like you say. You scratching the surface because it's just now coming out. You see what I'm saying? It's just now coming out to the extent where mainstream media is beginning to cover. See, it used to be like you'd only hear it on the Freeman Bosley Jr. show. You'd hear it in the St. Louis American. You'd hear it talked about among black forms of media. But like you say, this was on C-SPAN. You see. Next is going to be on CNN. You see, and so that is where it's headed to the point where we can push for more disclosure. What you got there, brother? Look at that.
It's tying into what my sister was just talking about, and how it's a whole history of things we need to know. I understand the importance of being with your family during different times. But I would like just to make a big suggestion that during this time, let's make sure we get this kind of information out. If all your family's around, take 5 minutes or 10 minutes and somebody do something to give the history of what has happened to us, all through this history, because it's not just what they did to the Native Americans. What they did, it wasn't no Columbus. He was there, but it was a guy named Cortez. And how they came here with 76 million Indians. And they slaughtered 74 million Indians. The other 2 million Indians that left were suicidal.
74 million?
74 million.
That's a lot of damn people.
That's a whole lot of people. It was over 100 million of us in the Middle Passage. These are facts. These are documented facts. Have somebody Google it while we talking.
Yeah, right.
Okay. The bottom line is they killed them and wind up putting smallpox on them, and wind up giving them a nickel with an Indian head on there and a buffalo on the other side of it.
It was an Indian with what?
One of the nickels that was made of not copper, silver on the one side of it. And I think I have one at the house, so hopefully I can bring it next week. On the front of it, it has an Indian head, and on the back it has a buffalo.
Oh yeah, they can come buffalo nickel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, you're talking about a Buffalo nickel. Yeah, I
Correct.
got some of those.
Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so what was and I did not know what the purpose of it
Yeah.
was. What
When all this
what
was
did it
so-called
symbolize?
symbolic, so this is what they call themselves giving us for like a reparation for the Indians during that time.
Okay, yeah.
It
All
was
right.
just total disrespect
Yeah.
on every level. You know, after somebody come and welcome you to their home, because the Indians were racist, they were used to seeing people of all colors, and they didn't worry about that. These people came in, and they came under disguise of being like real people. The next thing you know, how they came in and slaughtered them. But the mere fact they gave them those diseases, that smallpox was nothing to play with. If you look up the history of smallpox, that's something else they can look up.
Well, that was a wipeout.
Yeah, and they know what they were doing, you know. So, and then they turn around, and even when I was growing up, Mary, and this is the stuff that I would like them to maybe just talk about during the time when they with their family. I remember being young and seeing the Indians was always the savages. They was the bad guy.
Yeah.
And hear the army coming. And I was young and didn't understand myself. I'm pulling for the cavalry.
Oh, absolutely.
Saying, come on in and get them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they're depicting the story, so you don't know when you're growing up. If they could just with their families, and you can jump on there. Go ahead, sister.
Let me just say this, okay? Just what you were just saying. I went to school in Lansing, Michigan, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Back in the early 50s, in the second grade. And there were 4 blacks in my class and the rest white. And
Where was this at now?
In Lansing, Michigan.
Okay.
Now, when
High school?
no, grade school.
Okay.
I'm in the second grade. And we were talking about the Indians. I said, from now on, I always say Native American.
Correct.
That's what they prefer.
Because he thought he was in India, and I'll go into that.
And when I asked she was trying to explain that they were savage and
Ain't that something?
and all.
A savage calling somebody a savage.
It was all right to kill their family and things. And I said, well, I'm for the Indians. I said, they have children too. My godmother had to come to school.
Wow.
And explain why
You
I
were
was taking up for the Indians.
Right. Okay.
That's and you was in the second grade.
It was
in the
that
second grade.
ingrained
Right.
in the education,
Right.
into
What's
the
wrong
culture.
What's wrong with this child?
Right.
You know? Yeah.
She got behavior disorder.
That's
Give us some Ritalin.
They wanted to know why you didn't have the Stockholm syndrome. You
Right.
supposed to be
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, I right away took up for the Indian family.
Absolutely.
And I
But,
said,
you
know,
remember
that's
one of the
never-
things. That's why they call it a tell lie vision, because they was telling the lies. I remember another thing that used to blow my mind when I was young, was this thing with Tarzan. How they would have
One
a
man.
white man
One man.
and us clapping to hear Tarzan come
Oh,
to
yeah.
deal with our people, with black people. I'm talking about in their own land. He the only one got power. Him and his wife and boy.
Man, when,
And a
when I
monkey.
when I was little, we would practice Tarzan yells in the backyard.
Ain't no secret. This is how they
Be
taught us.
trying to holler like Tarzan.
Because when you have a person who controls the media, he can control how you supposed to be thinking. And the next thing you know, you think that black people that was there didn't supposed to be there. And that everybody was savages except for him. And he wandered around there with a diaper on himself.
yeah, with that's a hell of an outfit, wasn't it? And a knife.
And a knife.
He didn't even have a gun.
He can handle the lions, the tigers,
Ready?
I seen one time he was whooping. I never knew during that time, until that time, to be honest, that's when I started paying attention to the difference between an alligator and a crocodile. He whooped a crocodile
with
and
a
an
knife.
alligator by himself.
Oh, absolutely, with a knife.
I said, boy, these camera
Hey.
kits is something.
You
It
ready?
was designed to let you know that you are inferior.
Our culture. And this is just my opinion. Like, y'all the heartbeat of our culture. And when y'all pass, it ain't gonna be nobody else.
Yes, it's because we passing on to yesterday.
And the beauty about what we have is that we have how it was and now how it is. See, y'all just got how it is.
Right, because
And we have a blend of
They
it.
show that on C-SPAN, right?
Yeah.
So, like, now, like, if somebody my age see it, we're looking at it from the perspective of, oh, this is a documentary about America. And I've already accepted being American. So it's like, you know, I'm a part.
It's more the same. Yeah.
But you got us around here now.
And it's like,
Yeah.
dang, you know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
Let's get it ready to get back. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be
We're gonna start in 5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Boy, we be having some hellified conversations offline, don't we?
And you know, some brothers and sisters, we don't even practice this morning. We don't get here this morning and say, let's go over this, Mary. We're going to do this here. This is what you're going to say. We just have chemistry.
And it's just flowing.
Because we live this.
It's just flowing.
But, Mary, you're going to finish up when we went on break.
Can I?
Oh, that's called, Mary. Hey. Ooh, yes, sir. Please, Mary.
No, this, before we went off, and Zenobia talked about it when she was a little girl. I didn't get a hold of this stuff till much later, but you said she in the second grade? Yes. Okay, so she was in the second grade dealing with it, but it was only until I got to high school and stuff that it was being revealed to me. But anyway, there was a tribe of Indians called the Wanabanki people living in a region called Dawn Land. Now, Shahid, I think you had something to say about why are the people called Indians?
Because they didn't have sense enough to know where they was at.
Right, okay, go ahead.
See, they didn't even have sense enough to understand the difference between the circle and the square, Columbus and Cortez. And I'll just give you a quick version.
Go ahead.
If you look at a square, it's 90 on each side.
9,
9, 9, 9 times 4. But if you look at a circle, it's 360.
Yes. Yeah.
So they didn't know the difference between a square and a circle. Why? Because they didn't have nothing but Roman numerals. They had X's and L's and V's and C's, so you couldn't divide and multiply. It wasn't until they found out about the zero, which came from us as Africans and black people.
So are they still thinking that the world is flat?
They thought it was going to be flat, and they couldn't go no farther.
Okay.
So
okay.
This is why
at the end. That's why you say the end of the world.
Right.
Go ahead.
And by them not knowing, didn't have math and have zero. It's like this water bottle here. If I didn't have thumbs, I couldn't hold this.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason you can hold it because of the circle.
Okay.
When you walk, it makes a circle.
Right.
So the mere fact that they didn't have no kind of understanding about that, they were so dumb and retarded that they thought they was going to fall off. But go on, finish it.
But they called the people Indians.
Right.
So that's where the name comes.
Right.
It wasn't that the Indians themselves called themselves Indians. They were referring themselves like they normally do, Native Americans.
Until they changed it to savages.
Okay. All right. So they found this land, the settlers did, called Dawn Land. And what it really, they turned it, and here's another thing that white people will do. When they think they have discovered stuff, so that they can make it more believable, they change the name of it.
Yeah.
It's called revisionist history, revising history, revisionist history, revising history. They will revise
with no problem
the history. Now, these people that lived over here for 10,000 years.
That's why somebody saying they discovered the zodiac. How are you going to discover something where people already at?
Yeah, right. 10,000 years they've been living in Dawn Land.
That's deep.
But Captain John Smith, the white people, they show up and they call the area New England. That's where New England came from. It's really Dawn Land, and it was been that way for 10,000 years. And he made this map of New England in 1614. All right.
1614.
So they then began to name rivers and other pieces of land after themselves. You see, that's what white people do. They'll change names of things and name it after themselves so that it's more acceptable to them. And so the settlers who we think that were responsible for, well, not responsible for it because they did. They called it Thanksgiving. And the thing about it, Thanksgiving was supposed to be a peace-loving event of pilgrims and people enjoying themselves. They began to
they don't mind lying,
but they did what they started.
Hard to sit here just listening.
Yeah, I know it is, but this is the truth.
Yeah.
It is the truth. They began to issue. Now listen to this. They began to issue official government orders putting a price on the scalps of the Indians,
they did that.
of the indigenous children,
That's something.
women, and men. They begin to put scalps, put a price on the bodies. So and since you can't bring a whole body in, well, you can, but you got to drag it. There's a whole lot more effort. You take the scalp. So Indians wasn't the first ones.
And make sure
to
when
get
you
the
tell me
scalps.
you talking about cutting part of your head off. That's what you're talking
it was
about.
American. It was the settlers. The settlers started taking the scalps. And the reward for a scalp was about $12,000 in today's money. All right, and so half of that you could get for a woman, and a little bit less for a child. They were scalping kids and babies.
This is their
You know what I'm
history.
saying?
This is their history.
You could earn as much as a soldier could earn for a scalp was as much as a soldier would earn in 2 years.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah. So and
That's some heavy history.
sometimes here's the other piece. Now watch this. Sometimes when you turn these scalps in, the bounty hunters who brought in the scalps, they were granted land that the people who they took the scalps were living on. Okay,
So they discovered their land.
and then they start naming them after themselves.
That was the purpose.
Yeah, name them after themselves. You know, like Westbrook, Maine, Shirley, Massachusetts, Spencer, Massachusetts, and other places. They started naming things after themselves. This went on for centuries. Bounties were a license to kill all indigenous people. Now, indigenous people, Native Americans, people refer to them as Indians. People refer to them as Indians, but they're Native Americans. But there was a license to kill them. You hear what I'm saying? A license to kill them. And not this just wasn't a license, it was a recognized license by the federal and state and local government. This just wasn't people operating independently, being free agents going out trying to kill some folks. This was something that was sanctioned by the government. And so now, you know, they're beginning to dig all of this stuff up. They've got an organization that's going around trying to pull all of this stuff out. And so in New England alone, this group of people, they've uncovered government payments for 375 human scalps. And they submitted 94 different claims and equaling government payments of millions of dollars in today's money. And they're beginning to dig and dig and dig. In 1755, the lieutenant governor of Massachusetts, his name was Spencer Phipps, issued an edict, and that's a law, you know, a proclamation or an order, declaring that the Penobscot people, those are the Native Americans from that area, were a target of extermination, and commanding His Majesty's subjects, which are the settlers of the province, all opportunities of pursuing, captivating, killing, and destroying all and every one of the Indians. I just can't go on with this stuff, but this gives you
No, go ahead. No, because
no, it was in 1614.
May I add a little,
Yes.
a little background?
Yes.
1614.
on that?
Go ahead, please.
What was happening was the English, and I forget the exact title for it, but it was like a bank. The British, the England trading. It was all about trade. Colonial people were there to expand trade. In fact, the British came kind of late to this operation. The Dutch and the Portuguese were initially the initial one. And so England came kind of late to this colonization of the Americas. But it was all tied up with the bankers making money in England.
This is their whole thing.
Because New York was the Dutch were there first.
Yes, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
So it was all about these European countries taking this land to make money off of the land, and the more land that they had, the more that they was worth. And the Native Americans really accepted and kind of welcomed them.
That's
and
right.
they were portrayed.
Absolutely. They were
That's
portrayed.
what I was saying earlier, and that's why even some of these streets here, like Cherokee, it's a lot of these streets right here now are named after the Native Americans and what they did. They don't know how powerful those brothers and sisters were right in this area. Another reason that most of them have problems with black people, because you hear a lot of black people say, I hear Indian in my family.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, whenever we would escape, they would give us asylum on wherever they was at. They would protect black people. If we was able to get away, they would protect
tried to
us.
enslave the Native Americans, but it didn't work out. It couldn't work out because the
They
Native
wouldn't-
They run away.
knew the land.
And they knew the land.
And they couldn't get them to be.
Cherokee Street.
Huh? What's that?
Indian that was on Cherokee
Yeah.
Street, they took it down.
Well, yeah, they revising history. Remember, revising history. Now let's segue. That was a great opportunity here. Now we're going to segue into the topic of what you're here for.
Beautiful.
And that is the naming of a 3-bed clinic after Homer G. Phillips. You see, here they come again. It's a never-ending saga.
It never stops.
It never stops, right? And
never
and,
stops.
and that's why we have to be on guard
Yeah.
for these type of things.
Yeah.
And you have to catch it and you have to stop it. You see, here's a man now, Mr. McKee comes, and now he wants to name a 3-bed facility after one of our most beloved icons in
Man,
the history of the city of St. Louis.
Just 1 second.
Please,
I can't
please
let you
help
get
me.
that off. He didn't do that. Daryl Piggy. Come on now. Come
Okay.
on. Let me just keep it real. You can keep talking, but don't say he can. He didn't come up with this idea. This boot licking, butt licking, buck dancing, buck jumping, butt sniffing,
Oh,
Negro.
God, yes.
No, this brother. I'm
Oh,
speaking for Brother
Jesus.
Shahid. I'm not speaking for 1600. I'm
Yeah.
not speaking for Hallelujah nothing.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm telling you, it was Daryl Piggy.
Oh, man.
This little piggy. They
This
went to
little
the
piggy
market, but
went
he
to
should have
market.
stayed
He
home
should have
and just
stayed
cried,
home.
we. It was him that, because certain things out of respect, he should have said, hey, I can't work with you at this part.
I can't
came
do
up
with
with
you on
stupid,
this
I shouldn't even suggested it,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I can't represent, because he's really like a Judas in the Bible.
Oh, was it
He's
30
a
pieces of silver?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I don't
Jesus.
think he even gave it to him, he promised him.
30 pieces of silver.
Yeah, he's
no,
a
I
Jew.
think they gave it to him.
Well,
And then he tried to
Paul
give it
ain't
back.
Paul ain't got to give him
He
nothing.
tried to give him. He
Paul ain't
tried
got
to
to give him
the
nothing.
30
That's
pieces
his
of
boy.
silver back.
I'm gonna have a problem with this bootlick. I'm gonna tell y'all that y'all can keep on being nice with him if you want to. I'm not cutting no slack on this Negro who keeps his nose rubbing that white man's behind. But go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Yes. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Now,
That's Brother Shahid
yes,
saying
yes.
this stuff.
And so now, the community is coming together and they're fighting it.
Because we pissed.
And I know some of y'all saying, well, why y'all always fighting something? Why you always upset about this? Why you always making noise about? Because we have to.
Yes.
That's our job.
Yes.
That's her job.
Yes.
That's his job.
Yes.
And nobody, I guess it has been thrust upon us.
Yeah.
And we have we can't walk away from
No,
it
you can't
because
walk away from that.
deep down in our souls and in our hearts
It hurts.
and in our stomach, this is what we believe. This is how we feel
It's
about
like
these
somebody
things.
spitting in your
And
face,
so,
man. It's like
unlike
somebody
other
spit-
people
it's-
who want to chin and grin and be with it, no, we cannot.
Allahu Akbar.
We cannot
No,
be
sir.
with it.
That's right.
Yeah,
Right.
and we won't be with it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And
And
we-
so now we don't know what you're going to do, but we do want to give you the information so you can decide for yourself.
Yes, sir.
And so, Zenobia, why don't you give an update on what has happened?
Thank you for coming in with us
Thank
this
you,
morning,
please.
too. Thank you this
Well-
morning for coming in with us, sister. Thank you so much.
First of all, I want to say, good morning to everyone. Good morning, St. Louis. And I've been asked to come in and give an update
Yes.
on the just and right struggle,
Yes.
To get the name Homer G. Phillips off of a 3-bed urgent care
3-bed
clinic,
room. That's-
you know.
yeah.
Let me just say this, that it's been my observation that the outrage that I see and perceive in the community is just about the same as the day that they closed Homer G. Phillips
Beautiful.
Hospital,
That's beautiful then. That's beautiful.
Right. Everybody is just absolutely outraged that that building bears the name.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Now, this fight, it did not just start a month ago, a week ago, a year ago.
Thank you.
In January.
Tell a story. Get a history.
When there was a big sign on a fence saying Homer G. Phillips Hospital was coming, and everybody said, no, that can't be.
Impossible.
And letters went out to Paul McKee from everybody. You know, editorials was written that, you know, this was disrespectful, that how we cherish, you know, the legacy of Homer G. Phillips Hospital, what Homer G. Phillips meant to the community, that, you know, we just did not want to see Homer G. Phillips on that building. But Paul McKee went ahead anyway and built a 3-bed urgent care facility on Jefferson and Cass, and put the name Homer G. Phillips Hospital on it. When I first saw it about a month or so ago, I couldn't talk. I was so mad.
You flabbergasted.
I was with my good friend Martha West.
I know she having a fit.
You know, we were just flabbergasted.
Outdone.
And I soon received calls from folks who were just as outraged as I was, and came up, well, we got to get together and do something about this, Zenobia. So we met at Southside Wellness Center, you know, at the host of
Ollie Stewart.
Good and loving friend, Ollie Stewart. I mean,
the queen of senior citizens.
Yes.
And a long-time struggler for justice and for what's right for our community. So our this past Saturday, there was a press conference and rally combined.
Yes, ma'am.
And State Representative Rashid Aldridge led us in chants, you know, that, you know, change the name, we won't take this, and various folks spoke. And we also kicked off a petition drive.
Beautiful.
Now listen to this. We have a petition drive that we're kicking off that says, change the name. And it says, we, the undersigned, join Mayor Tatara Jones, Controller Darlene Green, Congresswoman Cori Bush, State Senator Karla May, St. Louis License Collector Mavis Thompson, St. Louis Treasurer Adam Lane, State Representative Kimberly Ann Collins, 77 District. And it goes on.
And where is President Lewis Reed? Excuse me. Where is President Lewis Reed?
Let me finish this.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So we name some more elected officials, the alderman of the 4th Ward, you know, Ollie Stewart, Organization of Black Struggle, Jamala Rogers, you know, Zaki Baruti, Yvonne Jones, who's
I'm
president
waiting on
of
Lewis
G.
Reed.
Phillips, you know, Hospital Nurses Alumni, and others. And then we say to join and others in calling on Paul McKee. Now this is very key. And the board of directors of the 3-bed urgent care clinic at Jefferson and Cass Avenue to change the name of the facility. We say the use of Homer G. Phillips' name on a private 3-bed clinic without the support of the St. Louis community is insulting, unthinkable, and unacceptable.
Yes, ma'am.
And we are now collecting names on this petition, and at the bottom of the petition, it lets you know that you can return completed petitions to me, Zenobia Thompson, and we have a box office number and a telephone number if you have
a telephone number. Let's get that telephone number out.
Okay, telephone number is
Let's get it out.
Area code 314-381-3301.
Give it again.
Area code 314
381
381
3301. Let's give it
3301.
out again, Sister Zenobia. That telephone number is
314-381
381
3301.
3301.
Yeah. Boeski, do you have the capacity to put that number on the screen or not? You see what you can, we try to see if you can, please try to do that. Yeah.
Because what we want, to do, like it takes me back and struggle, because around the struggle to reopen Homer G. Phillips Hospital, we had 3 initiative petitions that we put on the ballot, okay? And so organizing a petition drive, it's not something I'm new at,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of coordinating that. I have someone working with me with the churches, then someone working with me with organizations and folks. So that is why we have included at the bottom that the signed petitions,
Man, we got to keep. We're going to go to a break. Can she stay over? We need her to
Can
stay
you
over.
stick around for a
Yes,
minute?
yes,
Yeah. And see, we got and the young people will be able to put this petition
Yes.
online, right?
Yes.
Is that where we're headed?
We're working with some young folks, and that's one of the beautiful things to me.
We're going to talk about it when we come back on air.
Okay. All right. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Keep it on loud. Quit playing. Oh.
Yes, ain't nobody popping it like this.
The young people, people help you put this thing online,
Right,
so
right.
we can
That's
get
our next move.
we will be able to capture many more.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
So
many
brothers
more.
and
Take
sisters.
advantage of this technology that
Yes.
exists
Yeah,
today.
I mean,
But we have
to.
You might be able to put that damn thing on a cell phone or something and sign it away like that. Right?
What I want to do next week, I want to get Daryl Pickett's number. This is what Brother Shahid's going to do. I'm going to call him live on the air.
Okay.
I'm going to ask this rented Negro, where can we rent him at? Because this is an insult. This is beyond. I mean, what
can you do what? Where can you do what?
I understand your feeling,
Well,
and
I'm looking
with
at
you,
Paul
but I'm
McKee,
saying,
too.
What would that do?
But see, what it's gonna do-
I want that name off that building.
I want him to put his name up there. He can
You
put,
know,
they can put any
you
name
know.
up there other than Homer G. Phillips. They can't put that name up
No.
there. So whatever name they want to put up there, since he come up with the bright idea, I go along with you, sister. I'm not gonna never go against you. And I believe it needs to be on Paul McKee. But somebody gave Paul McKee this idea. Somebody told him, I got a good idea. Somebody volunteered to say,
Yeah,
hey,
that's
boss.
right. Guess what?
Hey, boss, check this
Okay,
out.
but he
Can I
gave
just
him-
finish this
gave
here,
him
please?
That idea. Okay,
Can
I grant you, he gave
ma'am.
him that
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, yes,
Okay,
ma'am,
okay. Paul McKee is intelligent enough
Yes, ma'am.
to know
Yeah.
from what people have been
yes, ma'am.
have been asking and requesting.
But
of him,
his rented
okay?
Negro, his attorney done told him, boss, I got this. He done. I'm telling you, but you 100%. I'm not fighting. I'm not gonna argue with you.
This white man is.
But
if
that's
he
his
wanna
boy.
Do something, he gonna do it.
Yeah, but
Okay?
but his boy done told him that and then sold him on this idea.
Daryl don't write checks for him. Paul
know.
McKee write
Yeah,
checks for.
but sometimes what they think. I'll tell you what I learned about white folks dealing with the work that I do. Sometimes they don't know who to go to, and they think that when they hear he speaks for the community. I'm just telling you.
Well, not only that, when they hear what they want to hear
Yes.
from a black person.
Yes.
You see,
cool.
when they
He's
hear,
not a black
because
person. I'm
there's
not
other
only-
black people that probably say, "Man, y'all don't need to fool with that."
Yeah.
But when they hear what they want to hear given back to them by a black person, then they got it.
Yeah.
Strategically, I say, it's another point to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, okay.
Remember, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Let
Daryl-
her get her part
Daryl
out. Go ahead.
Piggy, okay, he's carrying that water. He's saying what? Now, and if we as the community go after Daryl Piggy, then he can replace his ass anytime.
Well, he gonna do that anyway, because now after this, he's done.
He can be replaced.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
that's why it's strategically to go for Paul McKee and
Right.
his board
Yes,
of
ma'am.
directors, since his board
I
of
agree with
Okay,
directors.
all right. Now, who is the board of directors?
Okay, now from our research and board of directors includes his wife,
Okay,
his
Midge.
son.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
a family
and
affair.
on my list was another lady. Now.
How many members of the board
I
of
think
directors?
it's three or four more, and Daryl Piggy.
Darryl Piggy, yeah.
Right.
Okay, let us find out officially who those board of directors are, so
Yeah,
then we can let
I
them have a piece of our minds. Yes.
Okay, now this, I don't know if you saw this. This is what the board, the statement that the board.
For the board of directors.
Yeah, right.
Now they had some kind of statement
Brothers
that
and sisters,
they,
y'all are hearing this exclusively.
Yeah,
You get the
yeah,
chance
yeah.
to hear it first.
they had something where was it the board of directors or was it a couple individuals that said we have no intention of changing the name? Is this in it?
Yeah, that's it.
They standing
think-
toe to toe, flat foot in the middle of the ring, just being disrespectful.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
would not do that in a Jewish community. That they
No.
come to them, tell them this is derogatory, this is anti-Semitic. They would change that before they can think about it.
Listen to this. Some disagree with our decision to name the hospital in Mr. Phillips' honor. While we respect the right of those who disagree with our efforts to bring a life-saving facility
Ain't that-
to a healthcare desert, listen to this. We have no intentions to re-examine the naming of this hospital. No intentions. You see what I'm saying? That's strong.
Yeah.
That is really
arrogant.
strong. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It is
Arrogant and
arrogant.
disrespectful.
We have no intentions? Huh? No intentions?
Yes, sir. I'm clear.
Yeah. Well, maybe we need to give them some
so-
intentions.
Yeah, so that's why I say the focus is Paul McKee and the board of directors.
But then you say Daryl is on the board of directors too?
He can be fired.
Right, that's right.
You
But
know,
see, let me
he's an
say-
employee.
let me say-
Well,
you're
they
right.
painted themselves in a
Yeah,
corner.
let me say this here. You're right. So let's get that straight. But let me just add something to that. What I've always wanted to do is make sure that the next rented Negro to raise his head don't think they need to raise it up.
Yeah. Well-
so we got to get all of them. Let me say this. Let me say this is the last one. Okay, just real quick.
Well, go on,
You
get
know what
that.
my mother said to me when she came in the house and she didn't know who did? She whooped everybody behind. That way she knows she got the right one. Go ahead.
Yeah, but see, this is also an issue that you can fight on more than one front.
Yes.
All right, you all are moving on the vein that you want to go on, and this brother here seems to be
Yeah.
steadfast,
Right, yeah, I'm not-
determined to pursue
Yeah.
his angle.
Yeah.
So you know
Yeah.
that it don't
Yeah.
hurt you.
Right.
You know, it's not going to take anything away from you. Let him go and do
Thank
what
you.
he's going to do. You know, because it gives him more energy.
Yes, it does.
So come on, let's go. Let's hit it.
5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, St. Louis, welcome back. Welcome back. We have been having a lively discussion here this morning.
It's a different
And we're
kind of morning here,
Oh,
brother.
absolutely. It's a good morning, America. You know, but see, we've got Brother Anthony Shahid here with us and Sister Zenobia Thompson, and we've been in a deep conversation on the naming of this 3-bed facility after Homer G. Phillips Hospital. So now, where did we leave off? We wanted to also let you know in context of what we talked about earlier about white people naming things after themselves and like changing the name of something that's been 10,000 years old, like Dawnland, and then going to change it to be called New England.
Yeah.
You know, see, this is again where we segue into this conversation about naming this hospital
if you would do-
Homer G. Phillips Hospital.
If you would do us one more favor after air, you read something from those board members. And then Sister
Oh yeah, for the listening audience, for our
Yes,
listeners,
yes.
You really need to hone in on this.
Tell me who this from.
Yeah, this is a letter from the board of directors of the Homer G. Phillips Hospital, Homer G. Phillips Memorial Hospital.
Clinic.
It has a board of directors, and the board of directors has, in response to what has been going on, issued a statement. And I'm not going to get into all of the statement, but I want you to hear this. And it says, oh, you definitely need this. We named our new hospital to honor the legacy and memory of the great Homer G. Phillips.
That's something.
We honor his name because we intend to emulate his spirit and tenacity in serving the healthcare needs of North St. Louis. Some disagree with our decision to name the hospital in Mr. Phillips' honor. While we respect the right of those who disagree with our efforts to bring a first-class life-saving facility to a healthcare desert, get this. We have no intentions, I repeat, we have no intentions
That's N-O.
to re-examine the naming of this hospital.
Wow.
Now, see, They talking about emulating Homer G. Phillips' spirit and Homer G. Phillips' tenacity. Homer G. Phillips would never have done anything like this.
No, sir. No, sir.
Never, ever. So there it is.
Sister, can you hop back in and help us understand this craziness?
Well, as I've rather said before, folks are outraged.
Yes.
The outrage that I've perceived is just about the outrage when they closed Homer G. Phillips.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just, totally unacceptable to everyone other than those who are in Mr. McKee's pocket. So we've been meeting. We will continue to meet, just as State Representative Rashid Alder said.
I'm proud of him.
Yes.
This is not a sprint. This is a marathon.
I'm proud of him.
Whatever duration that it takes.
That's what we got to do.
To put Mr. McKee and that board of directors uncomfortable,
Yes, ma'am.
until they reach that point that
Yes,
they're
ma'am.
uncomfortable and they cannot endure this hostility and uncomfortableness
Yes.
that will be inflicted upon them.
Yes.
Because we're going to fight this
Yes.
Yeah.
until their name comes down.
Yes.
It has to come down. For the generations that follow us, the correct legacy of Homer G. Phillips Hospital needs to exist. Putting that sacred name, Homer G. Phillips, on that hospital is intolerable. We will not stand for it.
Yes.
And so we're going to have thousands and thousands of signatures.
Yes.
We're going to be everywhere and anywhere.
Yes.
In Mr. McKee's face,
Beautiful.
where in his business, whatever it takes.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're not going to stand for it. We cannot stand for it. For our young people, we were talking about history
Yes,
a
ma'am.
few minutes ago.
Yes, ma'am.
We want the legacy of Homer G. Phillips Hospital. That's ours.
Yes,
Don't
ma'am.
take that from us. And to me, what also angers me as a black person
Yes, ma'am.
is the disrespect. Like, you don't care.
They don't.
What we say. It's like in slavery, when the white racist slave master said, when the slaves had no.
When he changed their names.
Yes. Yes.
Change your name.
Yes.
That's
right.
Even in Jim Crow times.
Yes, ma'am.
It was what Mr. White Man said.
ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
Oh no.
Mr.
Those
White Man.
times are past.
Uh-huh.
That's
they-
part of history.
But they don't believe
This-
that because they still got
Right.
the civic progress group in this area. They come from a different mind group, and you better believe that all of them are in the bed together. Anytime you can stand up against a congresswoman, or Sandy Merrick, because if those people were white or Jewish, ain't no way in the world they would even thought about that once or twice. And you stand out with a state representative, you come back with the comptroller, you come back with enough people.
A mayor.
A mayor, a standing
This is the mayor. This is the mayor saying this.
ain't no
The
way-
mayor is opposed to the naming of the hospital after Homer G. Phillips.
Also, Mayor Jones was saying at the open meeting that we had, which is a consideration. We haven't even gotten to that, but which is a consideration. This facility will not be accepting Medicaid
Ain't that
nor
something?
Medicare.
No, that's heavy.
I think that's insane.
That's beyond
insane.
And the majority of the catchment area is indigent.
Yeah. But right
The
now,
majority of the catchment area surrounding the NGA site and surrounding the Homer G. Phillips site is poverty.
Well, really what they done told us, in so many words, Larry Holmes said it better than anybody when he talked to HBO. They really done told us kiss where the sun don't shine. That's really what they done said to us. I hear everything that y'all said. Y'all done brought y'all heavy hitters out. You done brought your congressional people. When you get through talking, we heard what y'all said, but guess what?
Well,
This is how we rolling.
Yeah.
So what we got to do on this station here, you have a commitment from us. This is not something that you talking about a sprint. We're not worried about sprint. However long it take, we're going to be on this right here because our people, I think it's when our people really understand what this hospital meant and what it did for us as a people. See, and why we have to keep on doing what we're doing. The young people don't know. If we don't lay this legacy down so they can be crystal clear, then as Mary said, they change this stuff pretty soon. They'll say that he put something in writing saying, make sure you do this.
Yeah, well, 25 years from now, what else is going to be going on?
Right.
Yeah. But here's the deal again. How do people get a copy? You see, some people will want copies of the petition to go and gather signatures themselves. If you want to be a signature gatherer, what do?
They can call this number, area code 314-381-3301. Coordinate right along with me.
314-381-3301.
Well, what they did, they opened up what they call a can of worms. Because the more people hear about what has happened, they don't have a clue what they're dealing with.
No, they don't understand the magnitude of this at all.
They don't understand what they have really done, because I don't know nobody around our age didn't know about Bombay Hospital and didn't benefit from that hospital on every level. And for us to just sit back and let them do it, and then I guess it wouldn't even be as bad if somebody didn't just tell you to kiss their behind straight out. I hear what y'all saying. I hear your seniors. I hear people that, that this means something to, but it means nothing to us. We got our rented Negro here. He said we okay. He's our attorney. That's one time he should have said, as a man, there's a lot of things that I do, but as your attorney, I can't do this. I do a lot of stuff. I don't mind keeping my nose up in your butt, but this time I have to take a break for a minute. He won't even take that position, and that's bad. But it's okay, because until you teach him a lesson.
It's always someone like that.
It's always
someone like that in the
like
struggle.
He's a little bit. He's been doing it for a long time, so he's like a specialist.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they get good at it.
Yeah, he gets good at it, but it's okay.
They perfect it.
Yeah. So, but God is the best knower. But let's get that number.
That's why we keep our focus.
Yes, ma'am.
On Paul McKee.
Yeah. Well,
He's the one.
I'm gonna keep it on all of them. My mother told me. I'm just telling you, no disrespect. My mother told me, when you don't know exactly who all it is, get everybody. When she came in the house, if I didn't hear them tell, I started telling. If Mary Bosley was there, I would have said Mary Bosley. I was gonna tell it. Because she going to whoop everybody but in the house, and she said this, she knows she got the right one. Yeah. I'm getting all of them, including Daryl Pick. I agree with you. But I'm going to get his wife, because I think she's on the board. Let me finish. I think his son is on the board. I don't know who all on the board, but I know his wife and son is on that board. So, Paul McKee, your wife got to get some of this. Your son got to get some of this. Maybe that's Tarzan and Boy. Maybe that's Jane.
So you got plenty of it to go around.
That might be Jane and Boy there. Because all of them going to get some of this.
Well, like I said, our intention is to make them so uncomfortable
that
they will have to change that name.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you.
Whatever that, takes us more petitions, if we have to have a picket line out there on a regular basis, whatever it takes, to put the attention that we are serious
about this issue.
Cancer.
Yes.
About removing that name, Homer G. Phillips, from that building.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Zenobia, we want to thank you for taking the time out for being diligent and for continuing to follow up, because we need you. And we're going to be calling on you again to come back, and we're going to try to keep the community updated as to the progress that's being made here. And we're going to keep this issue alive, and people are going to talk about it, and they're going to talk about it more. And all of you all need out there in the listening audience, you need to be sharing this information with your friends and your family, and letting people know this cannot stand. It cannot stand. You got to speak up. You got to do something. You say, you got to do something. You got to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And that's what we've basically been doing around here. Falling for anything. Don't nobody say nothing. Don't nobody do nothing. But here's an issue that means so much. If it doesn't mean anything to you, it means something to your mama.
Yes.
It means something to your daddy.
Yes.
It means something to your uncle, your grandmama.
Yes.
They ask them.
Yes.
Ask them.
Yes.
Ask them. I'd be honored to hear what they got to say about it, because I know they're going to take a stand, and they're going to be proud to stand up for Homer G. Phillips Hospital.
Get that number one more time, my sister, please.
Area code 314-381-3301. Let me just say this.
Yes, ma'am.
You do not have to be a registered voter. You don't have to live in the city of St. Louis. If you're black and you were born at Homer G. Phillips,
Yeah.
you're black and you worked at Homer G. Phillips.
Yeah.
You know, you're black and you were educated at Homer G. Phillips.
If your mama was,
Yes.
want
if your daddy was,
we want your name.
if your
on this
uncle
petition.
was,
Yes.
if your grandmama was, somebody in your family knows something about this
I
hospital.
promise you.
I promise you. Like you said, I promise. And just ask them.
Yes.
And don't be afraid. If you weren't of this era, then we understand you not knowing a lot about this. So now is the time to ask. Just sit down and ask somebody, man, can you tell me about Homer G. Phillips? What was it? What did it do? What was the purpose of it? What does it mean? How are we impacted by that? And they'll tell you. And they will definitely tell you.
A
All right?
profound impact.
Yes. Zenobia, we want to thank you.
Thank you, my
Thank
sister.
you for
Thank
showing
you.
up, and thank you for being a soldier, sister.
Thank you.
Huh? Hey,
you
that's
so
what's
much.
up.
Thank you
That's
so
what's
much.
up. We really appreciate that, because these are trying times.
Oh, it's trying times, but it's okay.
They are trying times, Mr. Shahid.
We're going to do what we got to do because
Yeah.
the bottom line is they declared war.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. They declared war, and they brought it to us, and they came right in our face.
Oh, it's
And
in your
a sister
face.
by the name of Ruth Chase. She said, anytime a people spit in your face and you don't address it, don't nothing else mean nothing.
Yeah, it's in your face. Yeah, it definitely is that, And I tell you something else that's in our face. I'll tell you something else that's going to hurt us, too, if we don't get it together. And that is Fauci. Fauci is warning us and warning the country of a double whammy from the COVID. A double whammy, because what is going to happen, he says, is because it's getting cold, people now are getting ready to go inside. And when they are inside, the chances of transmitting the virus are even greater. And so they expect a surge of infections to come as a result of the cold weather. Mm-hmm. And so couple that with the fact that most of us just got these immunizations in January, February, March, April. And so now the thing about it is the immunization itself is not a permanent immunization. The immunization, it wanes. And by that, I mean, it gradually winds down in your body, and it's not as strong as it was. So say, for instance, we got the immunization in January, February, March, and it was at a 10. For some of us now, it might be down to a 5. You hear what I'm saying? At 10, you strong. Now we at 5, we are susceptible again. We're susceptible again. So now you hear them talking about the booster shot. The booster shot. Well, what is the booster? You got to get the booster shot to get some more immunization in you so that you can get ready for the fight, because it's coming. I got two. Boeski laughing. I got two friends, and this is serious. I got two friends that was in the ICU unit last week. Yeah. 3, 4, 5 days. Didn't know whether they were going to pull up out this thing or not. And God bless them, they were able to survive it so far.
That's a blessing.
They were able to survive it so far. But as you know, many people have not.
Yeah.
Many people have not. You got almost 700 people in the city of St. Louis. In this city, this little town, 300,000 people, 700 of them have died from COVID. Not talking about who done got shot and who done had heart attacks and who got cancer and who all this other stuff. 700 of COVID in and of itself. So it's coming now, and it's coming in. It's coming. It's a big way. It's like Fauci is picturing it as if it's a tsunami getting ready to hit. And so he's calling it a double whammy. So I got to go get my booster shot. I don't have it. So I got to go get my booster shot. And I'm hoping that those of you that have the shot, get your booster shot. Those of you that have it, and Fauci says that you are what you call recalcitrant. Yes. He says that you are recalcitrant people, the ones that haven't been able to. And you know what? It's 300 million people in the United States. And out of that 300 million, 60 million of you still haven't gotten the first shot. Those are what he's calling the recalcitrant people. If you're falling in that category, then that means that you are really you're really cruising for a bruising. So now he's talking about the double whammy is the recalcitrant people and the people, those of us that have gotten the shot. Now it's winding down in our bodies that we now have to get the booster shot. And so that coupled with the variant of the COVID getting ready to hit, and it's going to hit hard. Now remember, the variant of the COVID is, Zenobia, if you can help me, how many times stronger than COVID-19 is it? It's much stronger than COVID-19.
Yes. The germ multiplies.
Speaking to that mic, my sister.
Yes.
Speaking to that mic.
And when he talks about variants, what happens that it mutates to something else. It
That's right.
adapts.
Yeah, that's right.
Stronger.
Yeah.
He said, well, this isn't working. We can go to this route.
That's right.
So, it is nothing.
It knows that the immunization is in your body now. And so it starts figuring out, and this is something else for people, the virus thinks. The virus develops strategies. The virus starts figuring out ways to survive. Because see, that's one of the things about it. The virus knows that the immunization now is in the body, and it knows that the immunization is coming after it, and it knows that if the immunization catches up with it to a certain extent, the immunization is going to kill it. So the virus doesn't want to die. So it knows that it's going to have to stay in the body. It can't get out the body. It is going to get out the body, but the virus is in your body. So it's battling the immunization. So while it's battling the immunization, the virus is steady coming up with ways in which, like the immunization may be coming at it from the left, the virus pivots and goes right. So that's how the virus is playing it. I mean, it is a hell of a game, y'all. But the best thing to do, and I'm telling you, and I'm asking you, please get the shot. Get the shot. Those of you that got the shot, get the booster.
We got to go to a break. And when we come back, I want to spin it a different way.
Yeah, okay. And I want you to. You can spin it just for different. The conspiracy theorists. Look at you're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Keep it on loud.
Stop playing.
Hey!
So, brothers and sisters, thank y'all for being so patient with us. Go ahead, Brother Boeski. You want to say something?
Now,
Okay, come on.
300,000 people live in the city.
Yeah.
My cousin was one of the people who was 25. He just got married. He died.
Oh.
Right?
What, from COVID?
Yeah, he died. He got married in January last year. He died in March.
From COVID?
From COVID.
At 25?
He was 25.
Man.
700 people died. 300,000 people live in the city of St. Louis. That's 0.23% of the population.
Okay.
Now, if the number was a little bit higher, I would understand your push on this whole, the whole immunization thing. But my thing is, why are we not pushing drinking water? Why are we not pushing?
Well, see, that's the point I was going to come.
We don't see no signs in our community that tell us to
they're not gonna push that.
Pushing this whole,
But listen
I
to
just don't understand that.
one of the things
And then also you just said, even if you got it, now you got to go get a booster.
Absolutely.
And then you just said that the COVID knows that you already got, the virus knows
why he's over there
that you
laughing.
already got the immunization.
If it's in your body.
If it's in your body.
Right.
So you don't think that, they're this is they selling you on an idea that you need it just so you can get it. I mean, it just seems like you're gonna be dependent on it.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Gonna be, you are.
Being dependent on eating healthy,
Yeah.
drinking water.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that you're supposed to do.
See, that's
we literally went, I told you this, we literally went from having aloe vera in the kitchen to now we accept it, going to get a bottle of lotion that has aloe vera written on it.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? That's to me backwards.
Well,
Backwards to me.
well-
We're not even going to go get, we're not even using real plants.
well, see, now, the thing about that is you're assuming that That's all we talking about. You're assuming that that's all we're talking about. But we're talking about drinking water. We're talking about eating healthy. We're talking about all of those things. It's not just one thing. It's A, B, C, D. It's all of the above.
But when people are talking, they don't talk about the other things above. What they only talk about is that.
Yes.
That's why you got to bring other people on, because I'm going to tell you one of the things that you pay attention to, and that's one of the things Honorable Elijah Muhammad stayed on, is how to eat to live.
Yeah.
If we ate properly and we eat the right foods, a lot of this stuff wouldn't even be happening along with them spreading this stuff. See, because there ain't no conspiracy. And that's why you got to have other people. One of the things that they do, they're pushing more of what they're talking about, but they're not pushing other people, what people can hear two sides. That's why really, even with a journalist, he always have two different people talking so you can hear both sides, so you can wait. And that way you'll know what you're talking about. We was talking about it earlier. A lot of our people got sugar diabetes. A lot of them eat fried foods. A lot of them eat starchy food. I'm not saying you don't never eat.
And high blood pressure.
All those things tie into
high cholesterol.
And it puts you in a position.
Congestive heart failure.
Some of our people got 4 or 5 things going against them.
Obesity.
My cousin had diabetes. So
that's
being said, if we're not pushing health and people already
that's
have
my whole point. See,
pre-existing health.
let me tell you something about our people. Most of our people don't cook. If you pass by these Chick-fil-A's and all these places,
You can't keep saying most though, bro. It's like there are plenty of people out here who are actually vegetarian. There are plenty of people who out here who actually exercise. When are we going to?
What is that percentage though, Bo?
I mean, I'm sure it's high, but if we continue to spread the rumor or we continue to spread negative ideas of ourselves and our people and say, hey y'all, most people eat fried chicken.
Okay.
Most people
we're talking about. Listen, we're talking about all of it. I'm not just singling one thing out, but this is. I'll say this and I'll be through. More people. I don't care what y'all talking about. Respect Mr. Farrakhan than anybody around here talking. Mr. Farrakhan has stood on this. And if you do a survey on us here and Mr. Farrakhan, most people going to roll with Mr. Farrakhan because he has a proven track record. Mr. Farrakhan ain't just come out no crystal ball talking about this. He's got some doctors all around the world schooling him. A lot of stuff he don't know about. But what I'm telling you about these people, this ain't got nothing to do with no conspiracy. And that's why I'm going to do my best next week, if Allah bless me, to have somebody that can come on and come from a totally different perspective of what we're hearing.
Please.
Because what these people are doing, they're selling our people on this here. They got them scared as hell, and they're using this COVID to get rid of people on their job. Everything they doing, bro, this ain't no conspiracy. I done seen Disneyland got rid of 32,000 people.
Employees.
All these people, every which way these people turning, they got a game. I don't trust white folks. I can't help that. I got a good reason. But I found out about a book Dr. Zooks brought out. And you go on the history of this guy that used to have the books out. I mean, the whole history of these white folks, man, they can't be trusted. But bring us back on the air. We got I guess it just came in.
Yeah, just wait. He got to do a little work. You got caught up.
No, it's uploaded.
Okay, let me get 15.
Hey, bro. How we doing, bro? Brother Shahid.
Hey, how you doing, bro? Yes, so brothers and sisters, thank y'all for being patient with us. You know, I'm not getting off of this Homer G. Phillip piece. I got to stay on that. You got to stay on top of these bootlicking Negroes here. I'm going to stay on top of this piece when I was talking about Coca-Cola. I want you to focus in on this one more time, my brother, real good for me. Because y'all drink a lot of Coca-Cola, but you don't know the history of these white folks.
Coca-Cola used to have cocaine in it, didn't it?
Coca-Cola, well, I'm not sure about all that. I've heard a lot of, but this ain't no conspiracy, this book I'm raising up here. The bottom line is Coca-Cola wouldn't sell their sodas to black folks. If you could look at it real good, it says 6 cents. They charged, when they first started, it was only 6 cents, and it was for white folks only. These people helped sponsor a whole lot dealing with hangings at their conventions, at the Republicans and Democratic convention. This book here, I don't even know if you can even get it again now, you know, but I'm bringing it every week. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it on here because what I want y'all to do is put enough heat on these people here to make sure these people understand what they have done to us and what they continue to do to us as a people. But Coca-Cola has got a history of financing, and if you look into them now, they in Atlanta, Georgia. They play like they all for black folks. I see all kind of black stuff, but I've never seen them bring this history out of how they started and what they thought about us. No different from this book that I'm studying talking about, or this guy here named Dr. Zeus. his name is spelled Seuss. It's spelled Sesus. And he come up with this book, or books. He had about 13,000 books out altogether that he's wrote. Some of them, The Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham. When we was little, that's all the kind of stuff you see. If you want to know who got the game and gone with racism, who got problems with black folks, and always painted us as monkeys, all the cartoons with us coming from Africa. He got one quote that they got, and I'm trying to see which one I got this at. In 1929, he's got a image that he put up there. This is Dr. Seuss. And what he literally says is, take home a high-grade nigga. For your word power, for your wit power, satisfaction guaranteed.
Let me see that. Where is that? Where
You
is
gotta
that?
Google it.
Where is that?
I made a note of exactly what he said.
That was 1929?
This is the book, but all those books that he brought out, Green Eggs and Ham, I mean,
Yeah.
he came out with a whole slew of books. And all these books come from his mindset, and he's known as a non-racist. What they said in 2017, what they tried to do was to start taking some of those books down and dethrone some of the, to say that it's about 6 of them that they stand against. The Cat in the Hat, they definitely talked about. It was quite a few of them. I didn't write them all down. But Green Eggs and Ham, they put that down. And there's a few of them, but he painted them. And you talking about the Asians and the Japanese? I mean, he treated them like dogs. He talked to them like dogs. And he made sure that every time he wrote a book for children, that black people or any people with color would always feel like they were nothing. This is what his whole goal was, But I thought I would bring that to your attention. And then I wanted to bring it to our attention while we're off the air until we come back in. This money that y'all going to spend,
Oh, yeah.
a lot
Let's
of
talk
this money
about
is
that.
coming from this right here. This is called subliminal seduction. And it's how they use embedding techniques. This is one of the reasons why doing any type of big event, whether it's the World Series, you look behind the base, where they pitch at, what they call home plate. This year, when I looked, they had TikTok there. So they spend a lot of money to make sure that they get these viewers because they know that you're going to be looking. And what they do, they use embedding technique. This book asks the question, why do the camel on the cigarette pack have one hump?
Yeah, why?
When it goes into, it represents a pregnant woman.
What?
And if
The camel?
Yeah.
What?
It represents a pregnant woman.
Symbolic. If you look at it from the side, and if the cigarette is like this, it's an erection.
If the what now?
If a woman is holding a cigarette, if a person is holding a cigarette like this up in the air, it's symbolic to its erection. That person is erect. If the cigarette is like this, it's happening. All you gotta do is look
It's
at
what?
the
If it's like what?
If it's like this, they hold it sideways.
Uh-huh.
Up here, it's up.
Okay.
Here, if you look at that advertising, it's something sexual going on.
So
And
that's
if
being receptive, like a chalice
Correct.
of so.
And if it's down, it doesn't happen. He done already, did whatever needed to be done.
What is that now? Give it again. If it's down.
If it's down, it's down. It doesn't happen. It done went down.
If it's
This
down,
book here, when
it
you look at it,
what
if you
needs
look
to
at
be
the
done.
ice cubes, it's got the word sex in here. If you look at it real good, you can see a face in here. If you start looking, this is in air. If you look at here, you'll see a man with his phallic out,
What?
a penis. All you gotta do is look. It's no ice cube. It's no. If you ever look at any advertisement with any ice, it's not ice. And what they do, they go past your conscious mind and go into your subconscious mind because they got a thing, man, that when you do like this, right now you see this is a pen, man.
Right.
If I keep moving it and moving and moving about a minute and keep doing it and get up to 1/30th of a second, this book said, you no longer see this as a pencil, you just see an object. But your mind eye never not see it. It always see it, but your physical eye don't see it no more. So it go bypass. What they do is they use so many frames to keep on until they get exactly where they want it. And that's how come doing the Super Bowl and stuff. The main advertisement, that's what costs the most money because they know how much money they're going to bring in. They're not putting advertisements in newspapers just because they don't have nothing to do. They're doing it because they're looking for a certain group of audience. They may be looking for men. They might be looking for women. They're looking for a certain age group. They targeting certain folks. It's called subliminal seduction. So that's how come they can tell you they're going to deal with $1 trillion. I think it's $7 billion in the next for this year. They told them they started in July and said July and Christmas. Then they started telling me, hey, y'all better go and get Christmas stuff quick because if you don't, because of this COVID, there's a lot of stuff you ain't gonna be able to get.
Right. Same thing with food.
Right. Then the next thing they do, they tell them,
Stampede you.
It's close to Christmas now, so the 10th day of Christmas, my true love brought to me a portrait in a bird tree. So now you're in the spirit, you just say, man, I got to spend it. Next thing you know, they done met their quota because they know how much advertisement they got out.
Yeah. Now, I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, Black Friday, whatever.
Right, that's what
Those 2 or 3 days.
oh, yeah.
Gives you almost 50%.
Well,
the
if you're in
retailers
hole-
make almost
if you-
50% of their money.
If you're in a hole, this is the time to come up out the hole.
Absolutely.
This is how you come
Okay.
out. This is what this book goes into all of this stuff on a different level, and it goes into it real deep.
And that is another reason why we need to support black business, because we
my whole
are
point.
steady, friends,
Yeah.
spending our money with other people.
Well,
And
Ain't
it's nothing.
no with no
Let
other
me-
people.
Go ahead. Go on.
They spending their money with white folks, and they like spending their money with white, and they really got to have.
They like it.
Brother even said to me about
like
a week
it.
or two ago. He said, "Hey, Shahid, man, you know, I got mad love for you, but it seems like all on the radio, y'all just be talking about, you know, spending money with black folks. Don't you think that's racist?" And I just looked and I said, "Hey, bro,
Ain't
quit
that
being
just-
retarded.
Yeah.
You're flipping it around because we tell you spend some money with your own, and
That's
that
right.
means I'm racist because, well, I'm going, if
And-
that's what you
and
call
see-
racist, which I ain't, but if that's what you call racist, I'm going to be racist because we got to spend.
But that's why I say when we talking, that's why I say try to spend some money. You know, I don't
You always
say
say-
all your money.
'Cause you already know they ain't gonna do it.
Well,
And ain't nothing wrong
we
with
know
it.
where you spending all your money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying spend some of your money. You know,
Well, how come
just
you can't
some
say most of your money?
Well, we got to get them there. We got to get them to just spend some money.
That's bad.
You know what I'm saying? It's a pitiful
But you know,
situation.
when you talk about $1 trillion, that's why I asked you how
Man.
much is this infrastructure. This how much they going to make for all the money that they going to get, they going to spend.
Oh, absolutely. And
And
so
then come January the 1st and the 3rd, they broke. They don't even have enough money to get their pension.
right.
Which one give them good luck?
Okay. So, problems, what I found out, I've learned this in law school. Problems or opportunities. See, most people see a problem and they go sit on the edge of the curb and hold their head all in there. I got a friend that anything happened to him in that day, he's out of whack. He wakes up looking for a perfect day. There is no such thing. But any little thing will get him off his game. I wake up looking for the problem.
Yes.
What is it? What, in addition to what I'm doing, I'm going far, but what else I got to swat down?
Yes, sir.
What else I got to
Yeah.
swat down while I'm in the process
Yes.
of moving forward? So you have to think about these things.
Well, we gotta
So
talk-
these problems are opportunities for us to do better.
Well, we got to come out this slave mind that you want to spend all your money with white folks and everything about money.
Okay.
Some of our people sell their soul for money. As long as they can do something for their family. This is the problem I have. Most of you out here, as long as you can get some money for you and your family, you don't give a damn about no black community. You play like you are, but you ain't.
We ready to do the dance?
It's easier to spend it with the white people. They everywhere. It's herbs everywhere. The,
But that
the
ain't-
herbs, it got ain't nobody in my neighborhood. Ain't no restaurants owned by black people. I gotta spend my money with the black. With the
Okay, but what about the ones that you do have?
the
Go to them.
Indians selling chicken, fish, steak.
Can we go back on the air so we
potatoes.
talk about this?
They got
Since
all the grills.
You
got ready.
and you been over to CW's?
See, I just asked you
what
about
that
that,
is.
right?
You don't even know where that is.
Hey, can we
Right.
come back on the air? We got the people waiting. We got the
Yeah,
people
let's
waiting.
go. Let's go do the dance.
All right, we ready.
All right, yeah.
This the 22 minutes.
Is this how many more?
We got
22?
one more after this.
22 and what? 18? 18? Okay. Come on, Tim. Let's get on. Yeah.
No, 22 and 10.
Huh?
22 and 10.
22 and 10. Big T.
Yep.
All right. Oh, don't you got some cash? I ain't got none. Okay. All right.
So, brothers and sisters, we're on our way back. We got just work with us. We're trying to get some information
We gotta
out,
get
and information is very
Yeah,
important. Around
that's
here.
right. All right. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2 3 4. The mic, you got. Shahid insists that you almost literally have the mic.
And we're talking as if it's Saturday morning.
Yes,
And he knows it's a Saturday
Yes,
morning.
it's Saturday morning. All right. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Segment 4, 22 minutes. Quiet on set. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Boy, we've had a lively show. But you know what? I like it like that. Yeah. I like it when it's up and down. I like it when it's controversial, because then I know we bringing it.
Well, we hear a lot of stuff, but I got to, and I know Sister Zenobia, I love her, I respect her, and she's going to stay on one, but I'm not getting slack up off these Negroes.
Yes.
Him, this Daryl Piggy, I'm not cutting them no slack, period.
Yes.
I'm talking about absolutely none. I'm not. Somebody asked me about why I keep getting Wesley Bell, because he done rung that bell. He done rung the wrong damn bell.
Yeah.
And when they come out there and put themselves out there and they practicing the whoredom and prostitution, then they have to be addressed. We can't cut no slack on them no kind of way. Reverend Gray, I ain't cutting no slack on none of these Negroes. When you're out there and you got your G-string on, you got to be addressed.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, so you better jump on in there.
Okay, well, we're going to address this whole issue of ward redistricting. We talked about it a little bit. We developed it a little bit, where the boundaries, friends, of the city, of your wards that you live in, are being redrawn as we speak. Mm-hmm. The boundaries of your council districts in St. Louis County are being redrawn as we speak. The boundaries of the legislature and the Missouri Senate are also being redrawn. So you got to keep your eye on the ball, and there are independent entities working on each one of those. So you got to watch, you got to keep your eye on the ball, pay attention to each one, and try to drill down to get an understanding of how we all fit into this. So that's why I asked a good friend of mine, Mr. Tim Person, to join us, because he keeps his eye on these balls. He watches this stuff all the time. He is a political consultant. He deals with these issues. He's been through, we worked through redistricting in, what is this 2020, 2021. We worked through redistricting in 2010. We worked through redistricting in 2000, and we worked through redistricting in 1990. So we've been to about 4 of these rodeos. So we're familiar with what it is that's going on, and we're familiar with how they are going to spin this thing, because they're going to try to spin this stuff is good for you. But our job is to point out the inconsistencies and how it impacts the African American community. So, Mr. Person, welcome to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show.
It is always good to be back on the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show with you and Brother Shahid and the Freeman Bosley Jr. family. So it's great to be here. Unfortunately, I always bring bad news.
Well, that's okay, man. They need it, man.
Yeah.
They
So,
need it.
the news isn't as bad as it was when we talked the other day. Okay. And that's because this is an evolutionary process, as you well
It's
know.
a work in progress.
And it responds to the ebbs and flows and people kicking and pushing and shoving to get stuff done. But it seems as though in 2 Democratic subdivisions, St. Louis City and St. Louis County, the strongest Democratic subdivisions in the entire state, the battle is not with Republicans, it's with Democrats.
As usual.
Yeah, and unfortunately in St. Louis County, the Democrats use the black man, the man of the leader of the NAACP, to initially draw a map that really emasculated the African American community and would have eliminated a black district. That has been since corrected, but it has been? It has been corrected.
How did it get corrected?
Well, first and foremost, the Republicans designed a map,
They
drew a
corrected
map.
it?
No, they drew a map that looked like the map we would want.
Okay.
So, but that's been the history in St. Louis. The history has always been black Democrats have had to work with Republicans to get equity and fairness. So,
and not white Democrats.
Not on a large part. And and it's actually gotten even worse with progressives, because they have actually bastardized the process. They are trying to decimate the election process, and it's strange that they've only chosen to take this path when black people are at the cusp of control. Mm-hmm. So and sometimes black people are leading the charges. But in St. Louis County, they have had 2 iterations of the map. The second map, the Democratic map, more reflects what the current first district is, and that first district is represented by Retta Days. The fourth district is the other predominantly African American district, is represented by Shalonda Webb. So their strategy was to draw Retta out of contention, and there's a couple reasons for that.
Okay, tell me, because I really
she is
wanted
the
to
chairman of the county council.
Yes.
She is a strong, learned individual, not one that's easy to push aside. In fact, I've never seen anybody push her aside on anything. But she's, as the chairman, she gets to say, this is what we're going to talk about.
Right,
and
that
this
set
is
the
what we're gonna
agenda.
work on.
She sets the agenda.
And like the opposing Democrats on the council, both sides have worked with Republicans. So you have some pundits saying, oh, Retta Days and Shalonda Webb are working with the Republicans. But the other side, who attempted to really still control the St. Louis County Council, actually worked with Republicans to achieve that goal. It was when the court stepped in and says, no, that's not what the county charter says.
Right.
You are actually manipulating the county charter.
So our friend, in many instances, is the courts. At the end of the day,
The courts and Republicans.
At the end of the day, if we can't get all this straight, the last resort is the courts.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's through the Voting Rights Act.
Yes.
And so the Voting Rights Act really clearly defines how you should address redistricting, particularly as it relates to
Yes,
race.
right.
So we have some maps that are now being recommended by the Democrats and Republicans in St. Louis County that are similar. The problem really is that it's a cloak and dagger process in St. Louis County. The county executive appoints the commission, and that commission acts in a manner that really doesn't bring it to the public eye the same way it does with St. Louis City Board of Aldermen. Now, both of these processes have been outlined by law. Unfortunately, people who don't like the way things are running right now, like the progressives, they want to change the rules, even though people have been following the rules. They say that it's one-sided. Well, but they act in the same manner that the Tea Party did.
Yes.
Yeah, they have lied and cheated and manipulated people, oftentimes black people, to get their way. And now they also have something going on the ballot to significantly alter the makeup of St. Louis City.
And that is what?
Well, first, we're reducing the Board of Aldermen
yes.
from 28 to 14.
Okay. And
normally, in the redistricting process, it's a battle. It's a war.
Right.
When you are redistricting and reducing the number of the Board of Aldermen at the same time, that's a nuclear war.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's bombastic.
Yes.
Let me ask something, because I'm getting confused
Go
on
ahead.
something. So how did the NAACP get the chance to even, I know you said they took the map back. How did
Right.
they even,
Well,
maybe I misunderstood.
the chairman of the
Did
St.
I
Louis.
misunderstand you?
No, you did not.
And which one are you talking about? I know you ain't talking about John Bowman, because he stand up. He's principal.
Well, I didn't call any names.
Okay, but I'm
you
asking,
kind
it's
of
the city of the
ding,
county.
ding,
It's,
ding.
but I'm asking, okay, so it's Adolphus Pruitt.
No, it's not Adolphus Pruitt. Adolphus Pruitt has not been engaged in this process. It has been John Bowman, who was appointed by the county executive to be the chairman of the commission, who actually shepherded the Democratic map that attempted to reduce the first district, which is historically the first African American
John
district.
Bowman?
He took it from 70% African American down to 40% African American. He actually.
Now, that's going to surprise me. If he would have told
Yeah.
me, okay, I'm
Well, what did he have a response? What was the rationale? Is he commenting on it at all?
Well, I've heard no comments.
Okay.
But they did come back with another map
I
a
think
week
we should
later.
reach out to him, Mary, to get him on here next week. I want to hear from him. If you said Adolphus Pruitt, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause he's always somewhere. You know, him and Daryl Piggy, like they head neck and neck. You know, but it's okay. It's me saying.
That's
I'm not
okay.
speaking
Yeah,
for
I got
nobody
you.
else. I'm
I got
speaking
you.
for this here.
Right.
So go on talk, because I want to invite. That's totally gonna catch
Get
me off
Pruitt?
guard.
So apparently there was so much public outrage in
Outcry.
St. Louis
Hue
County.
and cry.
Right. I mean, it was just so obvious what the intent was to eliminate Retta Days. And keep in mind, Retta is at the forefront on protecting the interests of not only the first district, but North County, where most African Americans reside in St. Louis
Ain't no
County.
secret.
And she was the one that was insistent on this recreation center being built, right?
The recreation center that was
Before
committed-
they expanded the convention
Right.
center.
And so Hazel not cut a deal, but she negotiated for the rec center. And the rec center is not just a rec center, it is an attraction to bring people in from across the country. They are creating a athletic mecca so they can have national events there, which will
They have a site in mind?
There's been several sites discussed. I don't know that there's been any settlement because the convention center has not followed through. St. Louis County has not followed through. So this is not a commitment that was made to Hazel. This was not a commitment that was made to Retta Days. This was a commitment that was made to the residents of North County, which has suffered under the hands of other leaders who have not provided the
And
resources.
they are attempting to hold the line. They're attempting to hold the line.
Everywhere we go, we catching hell, bro.
That's right. You got to fight,
It
man.
don't make no difference. What
You
we
got to
talk
fight.
about these people is something between them and these sellout Negroes.
So we've had that difficulty, and there have been several black people that have been pushing to get the convention center done with no regard to the commitment that was made to the community. And it's like the Indians were done. We make commitments to you, then we break it.
They
Then we
get
make
money.
new commitments to
They
you.
getting money under the table. No, some of them getting money on top of the
Some
table.
of them ain't getting that to get baseball tickets.
Damn,
You know, they get.
Man, what did you just say?
Well, you know, I got the, you know the deal. They
You
get.
say they get some damn baseball
they
tickets.
get
Well, right
baseball
now-
And
right
a
now-
hot dog.
Right now, they're getting blues tickets.
Blues tickets, or they get invited to handkerchief head dinners, and they get all kinds of.
They might let them be at the VP fair with them.
Oh, you front and center, front and center. You know they.
Negroes
So these are people that you do have to watch out for because they will sell you out. And the thing about it is kind of hard to figure out on the surface what it is because they really don't ever get anything.
Right.
They just get
Nothing
these
meaningful.
tickets and they get invited to dinners and they get to be invited to receptions. See, these are the things that
And they could be,
appeal.
that means they're acceptable
They get,
Negroes now.
oh, absolutely. But these are things that appeal to them, and they are willing to forego anything that is in our interest in return for having these opportunities.
I'm gonna reach out to John Bowman because this is gonna surprise. I want to hear his side of this too. John Bowman is normally principal. That's why I asked you that question.
So well,
But
remember
I'm gonna
this.
just say what Bertha Gilkey used to say with these people that's selling out, whoever you are. She said, "I'd rather eat crumbs with a bum than eat a damn steak with a snake."
There you go. There you go.
So remember this, in St. Louis County, it's not just about the rec center. The fight over the mask mandate was not about the mask mandate. It was about Retta taking a position. You've had a whole year to plan for addressing this and dealing with the problems in our communities, and you've provided nothing. Don't just bring us a mask mandate, bring us a plan. And she was lambasted for taking that position. The masks were not significant compared to vaccinations, healthcare services, dealing with this a food desert and healthcare desert. Those are the real problems. So
Yeah.
wherever you stand on that, she was taking a stand for her community. And both she and Shalonda did that. Shalonda Webb did that.
So kind of like, where are we now with the map? What's happening? Is it going to
Well,
be
the
tweaked
map,
again?
they-
Because the map is it's a work in progress,
Yeah,
right?
there was one other trick that
Okay.
they had planned. So Retta represented the 1st district. Shalonda Webb represented the 4th district. The other underhanded ploy that they did was flip the numbers.
Flipped them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Retta's up for a re-election in
Yes.
August of 2022.
Okay.
Shalonda Webb is up for election in August of 2024.
Okay.
When you flip the numbers, Shalonda Webb comes up in 2022 and Retta is 2024. So
Oh, they're getting ready to have Shalonda Webb come up first.
right.
Okay.
Right. So somebody came up with this bright idea that Shalonda Webb was vulnerable. I would suggest that they've never talked to Shalonda Webb. And her husband is more than capable of
And now this is Elder
shepherding.
Walton's daughter?
Shalonda Webb is Steve Webb's wife.
Wife. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yes, Steve Webb's wife. Okay. Right.
Rochelle Gray
Walton.
Walton is Elder
Elder
Walton's
Walton's
daughter.
Okay.
Right.
And she's on the council too, right?
No, she was beaten.
Oh,
She was, and Shalonda Webb replaced
okay.
her.
Okay. So that's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so that was another ploy to manipulate the voters and people. So, but then moving back to the city,
Yes.
we don't have a final map, but there has been consistent public input, and the people that are elected to the Board of Aldermen, just like the council, are folks that have been sent there by their constituencies. Those people represent, we don't have a democracy, we have a republic. A republic means you send somebody to make these decisions. So when those people are sent, they are actually following the letter of the law. So now you have progressives that come forward and say, we don't like the way things are done.
Right. Yeah.
They just happen to be like that when black people were taking control.
Yeah.
When black people run E&A, however you feel about that.
And we let them.
All of a sudden, they want to say, we don't like this system.
That's right.
Just like the people who supported Proposition D, they decided, well, we like this qualified voting and we don't like the way the old voting went. But historically, that's how African Americans got elected.
Absolutely. Well, you know, it was black people. Huh?
Well,
Hello.
I'm gonna tell you,
it was black people
most of the black
involved in that.
Yes.
It was black people involved in
And
that.
you know what most of them said?
We didn't know.
No.
What?
They said, we can win with this. Because they looked at themselves
Really?
selfishly
Yeah.
as opposed to other
They
people.
always do
And
that.
in reality, it is hard as hell for black people
That's
to
right.
raise money in elections.
Absolutely.
And with this qualified voting system, not only do you have to raise money for 2 cycles.
Yeah. It used to be the one with the most votes wins.
In the primary.
Now it's the one with 50% plus 1 wins. And if you don't have 50% plus 1, you have a runoff?
No.
No runoff?
No. The top 2 people, it's the top 2 people, not 50%. with
Oh,
this
the top
system.
2 people.
Yeah,
Okay.
the top 2 vote getters. And remember, you can vote for as
Oh,
as
so even
many
if you
people
got
as
50% plus 1,
You-
you
right.
still in there with somebody else a second time.
Right, and actually, there's no
No,
way to figure
come
out
on,
what the
crazy.
percentages are.
Come on,
It's
man.
crazy.
But
Yeah.
here's what's on the coming up in April, and they attempted to manipulate. They not only manipulated people that were gathering petitions, they were lying to people that were gathering petitions. They avoided North St. Louis in gathering petitions. They are attempting to make sure the Board of Aldermen has no control over anything they pass as an initiative. And you know, laws and initiatives oftentimes need to be adjusted.
Yeah.
But the way they are proposing this new law, the Board of Aldermen can never correct anything.
So let's take that proposition back. Let's deal with that. I want to give you an example. So if you're in a ward, 2 people file for the office, all right? We have an election. Those 2 people run again,
Yes.
regardless of whether or not, if the person is soundly defeated, they still get another bite out the
Yeah,
apple?
actually, if you look at the Penny Hubbard, James Page race,
that's what they've been doing.
Penny Hubbard, not Penny Hubbard, Tamika Hubbard
Tamika.
won big in the first round,
Okay.
but then she lost in the second round. She lost in the finals.
The same race.
Same race, right?
The same thing
So
with
that
John
gives
Muhammad.
them a chance to go get whatever
Twice.
they're going to try to get
Yeah.
or whoever they're going to try to get
First time I
and
saw
then
it.
be against you.
Yeah, and essentially,
I didn't know they was doing that until this time.
Yeah, this is new.
I know it is
Yeah,
no,
this
because
is
I didn't know they was doing. But you know, just throw it off just a minute. Even when we was in Ferguson, that white progressive group started popping up when this thing came with the Anthony Lamar Smith being assassinated with the Jason Stockley. It seemed like they come in, and next thing you know, they play like they rolling with black folks, and next thing you know, they take over. I've been paying attention to this for the longest. You know, Megan Green, them, this is me saying this, how they come on in, and next thing you know, the mayor and everybody got to be loyal to them because they needed them to help them get in office.
Right.
They thought.
That's what they thought. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you. And now we wind up losing because of that.
Yes.
Them and Rich Callow and all the rest of them, they getting all kind of stuff off now because they had to jump into bed with them.
Right. Well, it hurts black people more than anybody else, and they never take that into consideration. And those blacks that they have working with them have absolutely no idea of how this system really
I
works.
think they know. They rent it. They don't care. At this point now, they don't buy them no more. They just renting Negroes.
But let me ask you this. I'm going to shift one little gear. We got 28 wards. We're going to redraw the boundaries to make it 14.
14, right.
Now, easy math would be that we redraw 14 wards and we wind up with 2 aldermen running against each other because now the wards are combined.
Sometimes it's 3 though, man.
Well, hold on. There are some wards where the alderman there's just 1 alderman running, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's up with that?
That's what's up with it.
What's up with that?
Well-
So he gets a pass.
Yeah, well, those in that ward, they don't get a pass because other people can run
Other
against
people
them.
can run against,
Right.
but they don't have a strong alderman, a strong opponent is another
Yeah,
alderman.
you would think not, but there are wards where they put 3 and 4 aldermen. So
Yeah. Can we talk about that?
Well, to the victor goes the spoil. I think it's even more important to talk about
only
this,
got
the
2 more minutes.
redistricting
Not
proposals.
for the whole thing, dude.
No.
Yeah, okay. Good. Huh?
I said I think it's more important that we talk about this new redistricting proposal.
Okay.
So not the map, but what's on this piece of legislation.
Okay.
Because it is going to hurt us tremendously. But yes, there are going to be some aldermen, and through the victor goes the spoils. If you are the chairman of the committee, you're going to make sure you don't have any opposition.
Yeah,
If your
it's very
friends-
self-serving now.
Right. So, but no matter what, somebody's going to be unhappy with redistricting. There is absolutely no way to avoid that.
But that's why the people who making the map, they gonna decide who they want to reward, who they
Yes.
want to pay back.
Absolutely.
What didn't happen.
Well, I'm
that's how
give credit
taking
for Lewis. However difficult it is for some people.
I
This
like
has been.
what?
Yeah, I
This
like
has been.
that.
Wait a minute. This has been
I like that, man.
a more open process than we've seen in the
Yes.
past. Even with Lewis's involvement in the past, this one has been a lot more transparent. Now,
We
might not be
appreciate
happy-
that, President Reed. Hey, we're gonna be going to break in about 1 minute, man. Break time.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we got.
So
to
we got to talk about these judges that they want to make do the redistricting. Have
Yeah,
to
we
do
got
the
to do that.
Our state judges do our redistricting for us.
That's how come Sister Kim Gardner having so many problems, and how come Mr. Wesley Bell don't have no problem? Because he know how to just buck dance and bootlick and just he cooning all over the place.
Where is our song?
Look at the coon. I got to get that song.
Yeah, we gotta get that.
I got that.
We got-
I
now
got to
it's-
dedicate
it's,
that to
time
him.
is
Oh, Reverend Gray, he got to have that song
Time
too.
is right.
Todd Ross, Sergeant Todd Ross with St. Louis Police Department. He got to
Time
get
is
some of that.
right.
I bet you know how to do the ham bone.
Time,
I bet you know how to do the ham bone. Teach classes. Yeah.
time is ripe.
Look at the coons.
Time is ripe. Time is ripe. Yes. So that's this whole ward redistricting thing. You know,
big.
you're
That's
trying
big.
to get your head around it, and we want to tell the listening audience and the people about it so that they can try to get an understanding as to what is going on, because it's going to have an effect on
It's going to affect
It's
us
going to
seriously.
affect them. It's going to affect us seriously. So, you know, we know some of it may be going over your head, but just think about, just let us talk about it a little bit and let it marinate, let it just kind of flow over.
Give us
in
one
some
ear.
of it.
Give us one ear, and you keep the other suspicious.
Yeah.
We got to go to a break,
Yeah,
man.
one break. Okay. Hey, you're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show.
Come on,
St.
with it.
Louis.
Come on with it.
On KTZ. Hallelujah. AM.
Keep it on
locked. Quit playing.
So, brothers and sisters, we at our last segment.
Yes,
We're going to
Lord.
bring out things that nobody else bring out. I want to bring out the Luther Hall, the brother that
Okay.
during the Jason Stockley case was beat the hell out of because they thought he was just a regular brother. To them, they might have known, but they said they didn't know. But anyway, 2 of them then got off Bailey Coletta and Christopher Myers then got off scot-free, but they think they're going to get this guy named Dustin Boone. We'll be knowing about what they're going to do with him in a minute. Again, we're not against police. At least I ain't.
Oh,
None of us
absolutely.
against
No,
police.
nobody's
But
sitting up here.
I'm real clear about mine, and I'm speaking for Brother Shahid. All bad police, as Allah is my witness, we coming at you. Because you ain't got to do that. Your job is to protect and serve. I've been around Mayor Bosley. I've been around the different board members, and I know what y'all are supposed to be doing. And I've been around some good police.
Yeah.
But all that old putting drugs and dope on black folks and then beating people, and then y'all thought he was just a regular protester, so y'all beat the hell out that man.
Yep.
And the man is really on paid leave. Well, he's not gone. He ain't coming back because
And
his wounds
then
were so
text
sick.
girlfriend about the fact and laughed about it.
Yeah, this was a joke. to them.
Enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And this was the night that because O2 can't give him no pass neither. O2, who's the assistant chief of police, he said the night is ours, so this is the night we supposed to be out there having fun like this. So he really set the whole climate for the whole thing, you know. But a lot of best know, and everything happens on time for a reason. And I just wanted to make sure that also that we get that number out again, because we got to keep this Homer G. Phillip piece alive. Y'all have to talk about it. It can't be just us talking about it. We're going to talk about it. You can take that one to the bank. But that telephone number is 314-381-3301. Again, that number is 314-381-3301. That's what the Zenobia number. Make sure you call. Make sure you talk about how you can help sign that petition, because they should not take a black man that they've already assassinated. He never got a chance to see this hospital completed. Now you're going to assassinate him again. You're on a double assassination. And that's why I say this Daryl Piggy, he been a prostitute for a long time. Daryl Piggy ain't just got into the prostituting business.
Is that the third?
He's a long range prostitute. Okay. So we got to snap up out of it and maybe make sure we address these people that's doing all this here. I think I might have some good news, man. I'm hearing it, and I'm not sure if it's
What's
true.
that?
I'm hearing Richard Frank's supposed to be retiring come January 1st. They're supposed to be getting rid of him.
Who is he? Director personnel?
Right.
Yes.
He ain't worth 2 dead flies. Yeah.
Okay,
If
so-
you had a Magna and him, you wouldn't tell the difference. One black and one white, but both of them is filthy.
Well, then the question then would become, well, who would be his replacement?
Yeah, that's a good question, because
And
until
the
they get
mayor-
through
well,
Bob
let's see now.
Geisler.
Yeah,
Barbara
the mayor
Geisler, 'cause
appoints the personnel
mayor
director.
appoints
Bob
the-
Gasson,
no.
is she still around?
she's still.
Oh,
that's
Jesus.
Rich Callow's piece.
Yeah.
Right.
Is she?
The
What
mayor
the
appoints-
capacity is she functioning
I don't
in?
know if she's still down
She's
there.
an attorney with the law firm.
Oh
with a
yeah, I
major
mean,
law
but
firm.
you brought her
But
up
she-
as if she's part of on one of these committees or something.
Yeah,
Well, the
I'm
mayor
here-
appoints the Civil Service Commission.
Is
who
she a civil
appoints-
service commissioner?
I do not know.
Oh,
I'm just telling you what I heard. So I can be corrected if I'm
You heard
wrong.
what?
I heard that she still is in the city on another level. Her and Rich Callow, because I know he's over there
No,
preservation
she's a
piece.
mover and a shaker
Who?
down there.
Well, that's because her and Rich Callow is homeboys and homegirls. Oh yeah, we put everything out around here. Yeah, we put it all out. We got to hang it out. Put them all with some pantyhose and some G-strings on.
oh Jesus!
Yes, sir.
Oh God!
Got to tell the truth.
It's getting decadent. It's getting decadent.
Getting hot.
up
Nelly
in
said
here.
so
Yes,
hot up
yeah.
here. Take off your clothes. Say, I was going to take my clothes off.
God, yes. Okay, now that's.
So we
yes.
only got 10 more minutes, brothers and
On that
sisters. Y'all
next
been
segment,
patient with us
That last
for
segment.
all this time here.
Yeah, we
Don't
get
forget
ready to pull
about
out.
Coca-Cola and how they helped finance this piece with Jim Crow.
Yeah.
How they bankrolled them. See, don't forget that when they talking about how good Coke is, how a Coke and smile, they wasn't smiling during that time. They talk about how they had conventions and how during the conventions they was hanging black folks.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what you better know about Coca-Cola. So what we want you to do is around Thanksgiving, make sure the Native Americans.
Yes,
And how they scalped them and how many scalps they so talk about something. If you're gonna be there, at least talk about the history.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because that Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving Day would be a good time
Yeah.
to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because you got all the family, you got people together. Just take about what it's going to do is going to really create some
conversation.
some open and honest discussion.
A real
about it.
conversation.
Yeah, and so it would be nice to be able to do that with your family on Thanksgiving to talk about exactly what happened here.
And maybe even tie that into Homer G. Phillips. That history should be talked about right
Absolutely.
then and there with the grandmama, the
Absolutely.
mama, or the daddy, or uncle, or somebody should be talking about it, because if we
Absolutely.
don't talk about it,
Absolutely.
25 years from now, well, how you call it when you say they rewrite our story? What is it called?
It's the what?
When they rewrite our story, what did you call it?
Revisionist history.
We're going to be revised.
Revising history.
Yeah, and next thing you know, they'll do that like they did our prophet Jesus, peace be
Yep.
upon whom we love. They got him white when he's black.
Yeah, that's right.
They always gonna come up with what they scenario if we don't sit and come
Revisionist
back.
history, like they take and they name streets after themselves.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, they name parks, neighborhoods, communities after themselves. And so that is all part of revising,
Yes.
taking away the history of what it actually was.
I wanna-
you hear what, the thing that's so interesting to me is these people have taken for more than 10,000 years.
Oh, nothing about it.
The Wanabanki people, the Wanabanki Native Americans, had been living in a region called Dawnland. Captain John Smith, he comes
John.
in 1614.
Thought nothing about that.
1614, and changes the name to New England.
After you come in and slaughter people.
Oh,
like that.
absolutely. And then they start killing the Native Americans.
Oh, you get back on the scalping. See, it's
The
one thing. See,
scalp.
what we don't see. When I started hearing, I'm just telling you why I think like this. When I started hearing them tell me about what the different people in different countries are doing, and I started thinking about how these people taught and feathered black people. How they would come in and have sex with your family members and make you watch them. When I start thinking about all this torture, when they tell me about all these other people and with the Taliban and all them doing, the first thing hit my mind is they learned it from y'all, from y'all. Whatever it is. Because every time you scalp, you talking about cutting somebody's head. You talking about taking a knife. It ain't like they was in a facility like the clinic over here. That's why they should have been doing
A medical procedure.
Yeah, the medical procedure. They couldn't hit. They just took a knife and just started cutting people head, and then that's a scalp, and that's worth $12,000 in this damn time.
Absolutely.
Religion didn't colonize
Absolutely.
us.
Absolutely. What
You
is
know
what?
what
They were
religion they had?
Christians.
Yeah.
So-called, no, take that back. That's not true. They were so-called Christians.
I just read it. I just
Yeah,
read it
listen,
right after
no.
Mr. Bosley
Yeah,
said what
they
he
were
said.
so-called. Real Christians don't do
They
that.
were the New England colonizers were Christian.
Yeah,
separate,
so-called-
and they felt like everyone in the world should be Christian.
You're right.
Well,
But
that's why they tried to use Christianity to cooperate and manipulate the slaves.
yeah, ain't no secret.
Yeah.
Church on all the
Yeah, that's right.
Bible trust, right?
Well,
Yeah.
and black people was going to church on Sunday.
Yeah, but real but
On the plantation.
I know a lady named
And
Miss
they were
Harvey.
using the Bible to teach
Oh.
black people to be obedient.
Ain't that
So
something?
all of these people that are against what they call CRT or critical race theory,
Uh-uh.
they don't want you to talk about this kind of
Oh,
stuff.
no, they don't want it taught in schools.
No, and nobody's going around telling people to hate other folks, but what
I'm
they
gonna
don't
give you
want,
facts.
We wanna
It's like
educate.
tonight,
Right.
Tonight
What we wanna
they
do
said all
is
week long,
educate.
it's supposed to go down to 20
Hey.
degrees. These are facts.
Right. But think about
These are
this. though.
facts.
Think about
Crusades
this.
existed? Did the Crusades really exist?
yes.
It's-
Hey, look, Boeski, think about this. We never, people like me and Tim and Shahid, we never got African American history until we were in high school, until we were like in sophomore year. And guess what? The African American history book was that thick.
I didn't get it till I met you.
Yep.
I literally
That's
didn't
terrible.
know anything about. I told you this. I didn't know nothing about Marcus Garvey until I was 31.
That's deep.
Yeah.
This is all done purposely.
American history
This is done
book
purposely.
was this thick, and for years we would like take it. That's just like I can still remember the name. This is America's Story.
Yeah.
That was the book in freshman high school that we took history out of. All history books were at least this thick.
And our history didn't
You know
start
what I'm
until we
saying?
got here. Let them tell it. We didn't have no history before we came here,
Yeah.
before they kidnapped.
That was, who knows what the hell they teaching now?
Right.
Is there black history?
Like they said, they took cursive out. Like,
Yeah,
don't tell
is
me
that black history being taught? Period.
I don't. That's a
I
good
would
question.
imagine something.
And
There's some
what-
semblance of
yeah,
it.
but how sorry. My blessing was, and I'm not bragging. I'm just keeping. I was blessed at 8 years old to hear the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. So I was
Yes.
always conscious
Yeah.
of this kind of stuff.
Okay.
But most of our people wasn't.
Yeah.
And this is a
And
tragedy
still
that-
aren't.
and not. See, and since I made that announcement, I think it was Wednesday this week here. The two men that they said that killed Malcolm X, the white folks have exonerated them and had 100% proof that the Nation of Islam had nothing to do with that murder. So now you got to understand who J. Edgar Hoover was. And next week I'm gonna do a piece on Mr. Gay Edgar Hoover. I'm sure we're gonna hit him.
Yep.
Got to hit him.
So Jagger was FBI and the
Police Department,
right?
New York,
Just
New
like
York
in
Police
Chicago,
Department
with
decide
Fred
how they
Hampton.
when they killed Fred Hampton, how the FBI and the New York Police Department came together and started deciding how and when they were going to kill Malcolm and blame it on Elijah Muhammad, because in J. Edgar Hoover's diary, they were scared of Elijah Muhammad. They said because how a man could change a life and how they could take a man like Malcolm and clean him up, Muhammad Ali, and make him such a spokesman. But it was millions of them, like Minister Farrakhan. If you notice, he's a student. He makes it plain they never wanted you to stay up under him. And notice they killed every other leader other than Elijah Muhammad. They killed him by assassinating him, saying that we killed Malcolm, but they didn't think about trying to kill him that way. Are we ready to come back, brothers and sisters? Thank y'all for being patient, but you're getting a chance to get history that you don't get a chance to get nowhere else.
Yep.
Last segment.
Last segment, quiet on the set, 10 minutes left. This map is important, brothers and sisters. This is no joke. This has got something to do with your grandchildren. It's going to affect them.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah. AM. We're in the last 10 minutes of the show, and we've had great discussions. We've had Ms. Zenobia Thompson on talking about the Homer G. Phillips issue. We've tried to give you a little flavor of what real Thanksgiving is all about.
Yes, sir.
We've had Brother Shahid sharing with you on that, and we've talked about different aspects of what is going on
Coca-Cola with Jim Crow.
Coca-Cola, Jim Crow. And now we've got Tim Persons on telling us a little bit about the redistricting issue. And I know some of you, that's kind of like out of your element, but we need to bring it to you because it's very important.
Yes.
We want you to understand it. And through talking to you about it, that's how you get understanding. And we know that some of it is kind of the concepts are maybe escaping you, but just think about it, let it flow over you a little bit, because we'll be talking about it for a little while. So Mr. Person, go on and finish where did we leave off at?
Well, we were talking about redistricting,
yes,
as it relates today and how it's moving forward. We also talked about this proposition that be on the April ballot, not on a normal ballot, but on a special April election ballot that really is going to erode the ability of the African American community to elect the people that they want elected, and have people that are actually going to be supporting their own issues. So this Proposition D calls for, I believe it's D or R, it calls for changing the way redistricting is done. And it says an independent body that will be principally staffed with out-state retired judges. Now, we know the history.
Outstate retired judges.
Right. So that means nobody looks like us, one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two,
Outstate.
Right. Two, we know the history of the judicial system with the African American community. So how do we entrust those people to be able to have fair representation as it relates to our community? More important, it's nothing as an independent commission, because somebody has to appoint those people to the commission. And you know, you don't have a tendency to appoint people on a commission that you don't like or not going to take the same position that you
like
take.
You.
Right. So it's a flawed process that's going to hurt black people. It's going to hurt the city as a whole. Remember, we have black judges now in the city and the county, not because of them being elected, but because of the nonpartisan court plan. And you, who were instrumental in at least using the system to make sure we had the diversity that we needed, know that we had to rely on the fairness of a system that would at least make sure black people had a chance.
If black people are on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if we were trying to win with the vote, there was absolutely no way. First of all, the system would take care of the people and put money in the people that they wanted to be judges, as opposed to the people that we need to see as judges. So that's going to hurt us more than anything else. We have got to come out overwhelmingly and talk about not only how this is a flawed process, they deliberately manipulated the system. Again, these people act like the Tea Party. And you have people that are going down to City Hall and protesting about the process, while at the same time, they don't even engage in the process themselves. But they want to be critical of the process.
It's deep that you're saying this, and I just happen to bring this with me, but we're not going to get into it. But I want to read the part that said, according to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, April 8th month, 29th day, 2000, Edward Dow, this is a judge that we talk about, was a leader of the Order of the Developed Prophet, and a all-male racist organization which is more known over 100 years history promoting racism and segregation policy. The organization is often referred to as the Ku Klux Klan. So when we talk about these judges, it just ties into, if we don't have the right people, that's why Sister Kim Gardner and everybody else is catching hell, because the judges that they got down there are old, racist, segregationists. They go back, I don't know how long, and this is how they doing things. So I just wanted to tie that into what you was talking.
Well, if we rely on a judicial system that has not treated us fairly over the years, to now to draw districts that present fair representation for black people, we're in bad shape.
We're in very bad shape.
And the worst thing is that we have people that look like us that are supporting this. We have the League of Women Voters. We have some other crazy organization that are supporting it, and they claim they engaged the community, but what they did was engage their own, and they had people gathering signatures that were lying to folks that were signing.
Misrepresenting.
Consistently, it wouldn't tell them everything. And so I know, because I not work the Southside Polls, but I go to Southside Polls because I live in South St. Louis, and I go to multiple polls to see what's going on. You had signature takers down there. You had signature takers in the Central West End, but you had no signature takers in North St. Louis, because they knew they weren't going to be successful up in North St. Louis. But they were out in front of City Hall and other gathering places. And again, they had a guy out there gathering signatures whose license plates on his cars were over a year old, hadn't renewed them. So if you're so judicious about the interests of the city, why would you have somebody who doesn't even have current plates? He doesn't even pay his taxes. So I'm not saying that as a representation as what's going on with that individual. I'm saying that reflects these people who will do anything to take over control of this city, and they're doing it at the time when black people control 7 out of the 8 citywide offices.
Yep.
And exhibit some kind of control.
That's an indictment.
We have more power now
That's an indictment.
than we ever had in the history of the city of St. Louis.
Can't blame the white folks
And it's
for that.
almost, we're doing less.
Yeah.
You're
What
right.
you call it? One hand.
doing this.
What did you call that? One hand clap.
One
You
hand
can't-
clapping.
So in other words, if you got 2 hands, you clap like this. But if you got 1 hand, it can't clap the other hand because it's not there.
Well, my
That's
old
right.
basketball coach used to say that made as much sense as a one-legged man in a bun kicking contest.
So there ain't no way it's gonna
So-
happen. Brothers and sisters, so next week we're gonna definitely, because what I'm gonna do, we're gonna be back on this next week. I'm gonna invite John Bowman. Because I can't believe it. I got to hear this for myself on the air. Exactly what happened with this map. I know you
Yes.
said it's been taken back and all that. I got to hear this again. I said, and I'm on record. If you would have told me Adolphus Pruitt, I would have bet all my money. I don't even bet. I would have bet on, because I know that's how he do. He always somewhere making money on the table. That's what he do for a living. Adolphus Pruitt from the NAACP. But to tell me John Bowman do that is totally catching me off guard. So I'm going to call him because I want him to come on here.
Okay.
And I want to say one thing, and then you can say, well, no. The police officer, Luther Hall, I talked about it off the air, but from my understanding, they got a guy, Dustin Boone. The other 2 people got off, Christopher Myers. They act like he didn't do nothing. He didn't, the way he kicked him and beat him, it was different. And Coletta Bailey, they didn't do anything with them. But this guy, Dustin Boone, from my understanding, the trial is coming up. They're trying to give him 10 years. I hope they could give him 100 years, but I'll be happy with the 10, from what I'm hearing. So this was the police officer doing the Jason Stockley case that was beat the hell out of because they thought he was a protester, and they let loose on him.
All right, well, on a more, on a somber note, as well as Luther Hall, I need to point out that we lost a good guy,
Okay.
Carl Reed, a master mason, master Shriner. We used to call him, I call him Mr. Shriner. He died. And a lot of people know Carl Reed or knew him. Everybody in the shrine knew him. Everybody in the Masonic order knew him.
Well known.
I mean, he was just like that. He knew Masonry. He knew Freemasonry. He knew Prince Hall Shrinership. He knew all of these things better than almost most people. And he was always a friend. He was a friend to a lot of folks. Carl Reed he's gone, but
And your father came up on them, didn't you?
Me and my dad.
That's what I thought.
Me and my dad, and I know they had a wake for him tonight, and they had the Masons
Last week.
performed tonight. They did a tribute tonight, but his funeral is tomorrow at Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church
Yes, sir.
at 11 o'clock. I'm trying to get this stuff up right quick, but Carl Reed was quite a guy.
Yes, sir.
At Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church at 11 o'clock. Carl Reed has passed.
Yes.
A very good man, a very good St. Louis, and strong supporter of a lot of things that go on around here. But I'm saddened by this, but he lived a great life. He lived a great life, and I'm sure that where he's in heaven, he's not mad. He's not mad because he did a lot of things, and a lot of people don't understand and don't know what he did. But members of the Masonic Order, members of the Shrine, the Prince Hall Shriners, they know the name Carl Reed, and I'm talking about thousands and
sir.
thousands of people. So he will be missed. He's gone, but he won't be forgotten.
So on behalf of 1600, we send out our condolences.
All
In
right.
this 30 seconds, we want to give our
On behalf
condolences.
of 1600,
Yes,
we
hallelujah.
send our condolences
Yes.
to Carl Reed and his family, and I'm gonna try to make it in the morning to be there with them.
We close
You
now.
know.
We got 5 seconds to
That's
close
right.
out, Mary.
You've been listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show, St. Louis. We want you to like it, share it, tag it, follow it, like it, share it, tag it, follow it. Catch us every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah!
Yes, sir.
AM.
Keep it on.
Keep it on lock.
Stop.
Quit playing. Oh, yes, sir. We doing the
Brothers and sisters,
dance.
Thank y'all so much
Yes.
for being patient with us. To stay throughout the whole entire show. We appreciate that. We try to get as much information out as we possibly can. Again, that telephone number
What?
for Sister Zenobi is 381-3301. That number is 314-381-3301. That's for the Homer G. Phillips. This is Sister Zenobia. I'm trying to look at my notes. This is her number.
Yeah.
When you call this, because nobody knows this information and has it like Sister Zenobia. Again, that number is 314-381-3301. That's her number, 314-381-3301.
Get a
Listen,
petition. Get a petition to get it signed. Take a petition. Go get your friends. Let them sign it. Get a petition. 314-381-3301. 314